much at 4 a.m. Brains a busted circuit. Bethany said I'm dumb, but I ain't one to word it. She the funk, I'm the liar. Tangled in her pyre. Super nice people, dust clouds when I fire.
Don't know what happened, dream or disguise. Could have been a movie script in my eyes.
Pretty much that's all I can muster. Rusty gears grind, my head's a fluster. Bethany's gospel says I should be crying, but maybe I'm dreaming, or maybe I'm lying. Clock tick-tocks, heavy like my boots on gravel. Thoughts unravel, demons dancing, I travel. She a preacher of pain, I'm the choir of blame. Burn bridges like my nights, no two flames the same.
4 a.m. truth, a whisper in the haze. Dreamt or lied, can't tell in this maze.
Pretty much that's all I can muster. Rusty gears grind, my head's a fluster. Bethany's gospel says I should be crying, but maybe I'm dreaming, or maybe I'm lying.
Standing on the sidelines, lying on repeat. Little campfire, fiction for the front row seat. Day after day, same story, same spin. You dress up the rumor like it's evidence, then grin.
You point at a case, say look at that man, but you don't got a screenshot, don't got a plan. You talk about a white car like it's some smoking gun, but every single detail falls apart one by one. Stop pushing the lies, goofy gray. Every word you throw, someone pays. We gotta get the truth before another one dies. Fog lights on, we cutting through your disguise. Stop pushing the lies, goofy gray.
Fog lights blazing, you still mumble in the haze. Goofy gray static, every channel, every day. You shout, I got proof, but your pockets stay bare. Just echo in the alley, just dust in the air. Just another idiot, storytelling every day. You build crooked houses out of things you can't say. You sell loaded rumors like they're holy signs, while family sits shaking on the other side of the line.
Stop pushing the lies, goofy gray. Every word you throw, someone pays. We gotta get the truth before another one dies. Fog lights on, we cutting through your disguise. Stop pushing the lies, goofy gray.
How many names gotta fade off the page while you chase fake ghosts in the secondhand rage? We want hard facts, not your costume show. Turn the cameras to the damage, let the real story glow. Let the real story glow.
Stop pushing the lies, goofy gray. Every word you throw, someone pays. We gotta get the truth before another one dies. Fog lights on, we cutting through your disguise. Stop pushing the lies, goofy gray.
Click on the channel, same old script. She reads that page with a plastic twitch. Wild old hair, weird old face. Spilling cheap drama all over the place. Claims that she cares while she plays that role. Eyes fake wet, but her heart so cold. I'm watching that show like this ain't right. Feeding that fear every single night. Nothing good here, it's nasty disgrace. Every last word, a slap in the face. Spreading untruth, telling all lies. even got to know how to fake a little cry. Nothing good here, it's nasty disgrace. Everything she does, all for the chase. Thinks that she great, front and center in the frame. Makes it all about her, every darn case.
Every darn case.
Every darn case. I think she the creep from that horror show. Same cold laugh, same cheap glow. Teleprompter puppet on that glassy stage. Twisting those facts for a click in the wage. Says breaking story, but it's broken trust. Turn real pain into glitter and dust. I changed the channel, but it's still that face. Everywhere I look, same nasty disgrace.
Nothing good here.
This nasty disgrace.
Every last word,
a slap in the face. Spreading untruth, telling all lies. Even got to know how to fake a little cry.
nothing good here.
This nasty disgrace.
Everything she does,
all for the chase. Thinks that she great, front and center in the frame. Makes it all about her, every darn case.
Every darn case. Every darn case.
every darn case. Every darn case.
Every goal.
Dirty, dirty green. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Smile so clean.
Dirty, dirty, dirty.
Hands so filthy, unseen. Big man on campus. Shark in the Letterman jacket. Laugh while the whole town drowns. He just skims off the habit. Lives in the shadows, fake sugar on his teeth. Tells tales at the cookout. Nobody buys what he speaks. Dirty daddy green. Pocket fat from grief. Plays a Saint on Sunday. Wears the mask all week. Got the suits on the string. All the badges on a leash. Blink once you miss it. He'll drag you to the brink. Dirty daddy green. Proud of what he steals. Smiles in your face. Signs crooked deals. Every hallway. Every street. They're all in his pockets. Kissing his feet. He got MPD in his jacket. ISP on the chain. Every handshake, every favor. Bought and paid in your pain. By the Vita at the banquet. Posing like he runs the place. But the rot drips through when you look him in the face. Oh! Dirty daddy green. Pockets fat from grief. Plays the Saint on Sunday. Wears the mask all week. Got the suits on a string. All the badges on a leash. Blink, watch you miss it. He'll drag you to the brink. Dirty daddy green. Proud of what he steals. Smiles in your face. Eyes crooked deals. Every hallway. Every street. They're all in his pockets. Kissing his feet. Watch him. Don't even blink. He'll have your world gone faster than you think. He laughs while you think. Says it's all just business. As he pushes you to the brink. Dirty, 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 daddy. Dirty daddy. Dirty daddy. Pockets, 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 pockets. Dirty daddy. Dirty daddy. Pockets fat from grief. Plays a Saint on Sunday. Wears the mask all week. Got the suits on a string. All the badges on a leash. Blink once you miss it. He'll drag you to the brink. Dirty daddy. Proud of what he steals. Smiles in your face. Eyes crooked deals. Every hallway. Every street. They're all in his pockets. Kissing his feet. Dirty daddy green. Dirty daddy green.
Dirty, dirty green.
Little man on the scene trying to sound real tough. Standing on a stool, still ain't tall enough. Reaching for the counter like daddy pick me up. Wants his lukewarm brew in his favorite sippy cup. Baby pain, stomp those socks. Tiny little sneakers, big boy talk. Puffs that chest, can't lift the lock. Bangs on the door till the hinges pop. Baby pain, just a little guy thinks he running the game. Baby pain, wants a big desk, can't spell his name. In charge of the case, I don't think so. Give him some toys and
wants big boots, still rocking snags. Baby pay, baby pay. Just a little guy thinks he running the game. Baby pay, baby pay. Wants a big desk, can't spell his name. In charge of the case, I don't think so. Give him some toys and shut that door. All he wants is to feel that large, but I'm the one in charge. I'm the one in charge. Stomping up and down, red face, small frame. Tiny little storm trying to make it rain. Wah, 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 that's his war cry. Big boy dreams in a shirt size 5. Baby pay, baby pay. Just a little guy thinks he running the game. Baby pay, baby pay. Wants a big desk, can't spell his name. In charge of the case, I don't think so. Give him some toys and shut that door. All he wants is to feel that large, but I'm the one in charge. I'm the one in charge.
All right. You guys hear me? Oh, right. What's going on? Over there. Something, right? Yo. Where we at? Hey. Yo. You guys hear me? Yes, no, maybe so. Hello? Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Figure it out. How about now? Yay. Hey. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the cafe. We're open for business. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. It is Tuesday, March 24th already. It's moving right along, everybody. Great to see you all here with us today. I hope you're all having an amazing day. I hope you're all being amazing because you are all amazing, period. Great to see you all. Welcome back, guys. We're going to do a wide open discussion, true crime catch up, what's going on in the world today. We will be checking out many things. I'm sure what I know we'll end up discussing at some point for sure. So come on in, grab a seat, get comfortable, share this out, and hit that like button on your way through the door, if you will, please and thank you. I appreciate you all more than you can ever know. Will I be joined today by anybody? I have no clue, but I'm going to be dropping that link for you guys to pop up here and call in and discuss these things with me, if you will, should you choose to. Come on in, grab a seat, and get comfortable. And thank you to my moderators, as always, for doing what you do and being here and just being amazing. Thank you, of course, to my production manager, Mikey, the last 24, my videographer, Molly, for doing what we know they do so great. Thank you guys for doing that. That being said, you guys know where we go from here. Let's do this and get this show moving and stop listening to me run my mouth. Here we go.
Flicker like broken halos. Whispers gather in the smoke-filled air. Tables carved with secrets and shadows. Every story's a wound laid bare. The kettle's boiling with mirrors cracked, reflections are liars. Ashes fall where the guilty once stood. The jukebox hums like a funeral choir. Echoes pounding through the neighborhood. Every scar is a candlelit vow. We hunt the how, we demand the now. No more silence, no more disguise. We'll paint the night with sharpened cry. At the True Crime Café, we serve up the pain they try to hide away. Pour another cup of the truth you crave. Raise your glass to the names they betray. This is not a sermon, it's a battlefield hymn, a requiem dripping from the bottle's rim. The guilty write stories in invisible ink, but we'll drag it all up from the edge of the brave. At the True Crime Café, the reckoning burns like a black bouquet. Every shadow will pay. In the True Crime Cafe.
All right, all right, all right. Welcome back, everybody. Great to see you today. All right, all right. I hope you're all having an amazing day, like I said, because you are all so very amazing. And thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Today, guys, we're jumping into it's an open discussion, true crime catch up. Talking about a little bit of everything, I guess. Whatever we end up talking about, we will be talking about. Hell, it looks like I already got somebody backstage that we will be talking to today. Let's see who we got joining us first. Whoever is backstage, please hang loose just for a minute. I'll be right with you. Welcome, Miss Rowe. Good to see you. Karmic Retribution in the house. This is that awesome, awesome lady that made that amazing video we reviewed the other day when we were talking about why are we still covering this case. All of the things she points out in that video are why. And she does amazing work, guys. Please make sure to subscribe to her channel, hit the like button, notification bell, and don't miss a beat with that. She is an amazing creator, amazing channel, amazing person. Go check her out, guys, if you will. Kawanda, again, wonderful to see you. Leah Stories, great to see you. Mikey's in the house, my amazing production manager that makes all this stuff work out the way it does. I appreciate him so very much for the last 24. Let me see here. Miss Rowe, Lexi S20, good to see you. Sarah D. Irish, make sure you're following Sarah over on Twitter, guys, especially if you're covering the Idaho 4 case. She's got it all boxed up. Nice and neat for you to check out over there on the X, I guess you call it now. I'm still not used to that. But please follow her. You won't miss a beat with that stuff over there. Gail G74, great to see you today. Jesse Lynn's in the house. Welcome back, Jesse. Lisa Winchester, great to see you. Moonflower, welcome back, dear. Wonderful to see you today. I just missed Miss Tandy, Seahawks fan. Had to go back to work. It was wonderful to see her in here for the time she was. Welcome, welcome. Juror 13, great to see you. One Maiden Nut, Eddie's in the house today. Good to see you, brother. Hopefully we'll hear from you today. Let's see here. Sleuth 75. George Stewart, great to see you. Welcome back, Miss Luther. Great to see you today as well. Meanie, welcome to you. Jagwell and Keeley, great to see you today. Sammy T, welcome back. Um, hmm. In Stitches, welcome, welcome. Yay, many. And guys, if there's any audio issues or anything, please let me know as soon as you can. I will do my best to try to fix it. Gail, great to see you. Let me see. I think I've got just about everybody so far. Sleuthy Kitty's in the house. Great to see you, Sleuthy. I hope you guys enjoyed that little thing in the beginning. You can thank Molly for that, by the way. Carolyn Prestage, great to see you again. It's been a while. Miss Jody's in the house from the Defense Rest, guys. I'll make sure we drop that link. And you guys check out what's going on over at the Defense Rest. Our friend from Down Under, Miss Jody from the Defense Rest. I think she's going to be joining me up here for a minute here, too. Ice Empress, great to see you today. Thank you for joining us as well. Let's see. Yeah, Lisa Winchester. I think I got everybody. Almost. Again, please make sure to hit the like button on your way through that door. Chihuahuas and Crime, great to see you today. Logan Verduri, welcome to you. Verduri? Amethyst Noor, great to see you today. Thank you so much for that, Miss Kawanda, already dropping a super sticker. Thank you so much. God bless. Very generous of you. Very sweet of you. Kathleen Bell, congrats. Welcome to the sauce. Another meatball jumping in with us. That's awesome. There's the link right there, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the Defense Rest with Miss Jody. Miss Jody does a lot of work with the Lecher County losers, as I call them over there. All them horrible people that have caused so much trauma to so many people. The Letcher County case, where Mickey Steins shot and killed Judge Kevin Mullins, the sheriff, by the way, Mickey Steins. He was the sheriff. So, and that's what Miss Jody's been hardcore delved into that for a long time, helping as much as she can in that case. Miss Karen from Z-Bell, good to see you today. Thank you for joining us. Dylan's in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Thank you for being here. And I think Chihuahuas in Crime, meanie. I think I got everybody. If I didn't, I will catch up. I promise you. All right. And welcome, Miss Jody. How are you today?
Whoa,
Can you hear
forget
me?
about it.
Forget
Whoa,
about it. At the Fugazi. And Eddie, welcome, brother.
Can you hear me?
I can. You sound great, actually.
Jesse Lynn, can you see me now? If not, hello.
Were you having problems seeing?
I typed hello, but she can't see it.
Let me see something here. You just typed hello in the chat?
Yeah, couple minutes ago. A
I'm
couple
looking.
times I said.
Oh, I do see it now. I see that. Hi, can you see me? Maybe she had to go out and come back in.
Hey,
Okay.
Luther.
Yep, there they said there you are, Eddie. The link is pinned at the top of the chat. And Miss Kim's joining us now. Jumped in here. No problem, Dylan. So, Miss Jody, how are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you.
You can hear me clearly?
Yeah, you sound good, and there's no delay or anything. This is awesome. Good stuff.
I got me a new Blue Ant microphone.
It sounds good. Sounds really good. Very clear,
Excellent.
very crisp.
Shut up.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And Eddie, of course, how are you doing it again today, buddy? It's been a couple days. How are you?
Doing well. The sun is out. Well, it's part-time out. It's kind of like peekaboo through the clouds, but we'll take it here in Minnesota.
Oh yeah. Every time, anytime. Thank you, George. I see your face, buddy. You can turn it off if you want to. Yeah, you don't unless you can leave it on if you want to. I'm trying to pull you up here. It won't let me do it though. That's weird. It says your devices are not connected, sir. It won't let me pull you up here. Nothing's connected. Teresa Lamaster, welcome to you. So, Amethyst Nor, good to see you too. All right. So, what do we got going on today? Before we go any further, what's going on in new in your life, Miss Jody? Since she was ladies first.
Oh, not a great deal, Dago. Well, apart from head down, bum up, doing research and following these rabbits down these pesky holes.
Pesky wabbits.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
gotta watch them wabbits. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Anything new in Leicester County that we haven't
Oh,
heard yet?
my Lord. I don't. How much time have you got?
Oh, I know. There's a lot going on in out
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Nothing good. That's for sure.
No, and I think the more I delve, the worse it gets, and the bigger it gets. It's yeah.
I'm still looking at finding a way. I would really love to have Taya join us,
Did
and
you not get my email?
I don't think I did. Yeah, I would
I
love to
sent
have her join us here and just
I
interview
sent
her and
her
talk to her, let her tell her
mobile.
story here.
Yeah, I've sent you her mobile and her
Let me look.
email and Brandy's as well.
Let me check real quick.
Last week.
Oh, wait a minute.
You probably
I
my
did
email
find
address.
it. It is in there.
Oh, good.
I was looking under something wrong. My email is so full because I get so many that sometimes they
Yeah, I hear
overlap
you.
and I don't see them. But thank you for that.
No
Um,
worries.
and I can just get a hold of them, let them know who I am, and
Oh, yes.
both of them comfortable with doing that, or
Absolutely. And
good?
they both know that I've passed on their numbers to you. And what was I going to say? Uh,
For those of you that aren't familiar, we did cover Letcher County pretty hardcore until it slowed down and got quiet. What we never did get to cover, it's okay, George. I'm trying, buddy, but it won't let me pull you up. I'd love to have you join me, but it just keeps saying nothing's connected for some reason. You got something going on over there. But Taya was the first one to step forward, folks, in Letcher County and tell her story as to what was going on, what more or less, in my opinion, prompted Mickey to do what he did to Kevin. Okay, the sheriff to shoot the judge, and which was when it first hit, it blew my mind. Like we don't see these kinds of things, it just doesn't happen. And so Taya came forward and did an interview with Brian Enton, and was the first to tell her story in that aspect. To the world. And there's so many things that have happened in this case, you guys. People have lost their lives over and
oh,
over in
so
horrible ways too.
so
Um,
many.
and the things that have happened to these women, I mean, and their families as well. It's just disgusting. So I would love to bring a platform forward that Taya and Brandy can tell their stories as much as they need to.
They would
Um,
absolutely love that.
the more and the more people that hear this, the
Yeah.
more that know what's going on in this hole in the earth, as I call it, because
Oh,
Kentucky is a beautiful state, folks. It's a very beautiful state. The stuff that goes on in this area is beyond definitely not beautiful. It's horrible, horrible stuff you'd never even imagine could happen in real life.
no.
Until you see it, which is probably what grabbed your attention, in my opinion, Jody, to see these things. You're in the other side of the world in Australia, going, "What the hell is going on over there?"
Yeah.
And it's
I don't even
crazy.
know what it was that drew me to it. Teresa Lamaster, who's in the chat, she's my OG #1 mod. Fantastic. Thank you very
Yes,
much.
welcome,
Miss
Teresa.
Teresa. She was the one that introduced me to Mickey Stein's and the Sheriff Mullins shooting. And from there, I watched Taya's interview with Brian Enton, and I don't know what it was. I just had to reach out to her, and
Yeah.
I tried a few different ways that were unsuccessful. And then I got a girlfriend who is a super sleuth, tracked down one of her websites, and yeah,
Gotcha.
the rest is history.
It's amazing. That is awesome, and I'm glad
Yeah.
you did that because you have helped Lee with Devil's Advocates in a lot of ways. You've helped me and my coverage on it to gain more information. In turn, we're helping them by doing that, by putting the word out there,
Absolutely.
because this is something that's been covered up for so long and hidden
Oh,
for so long. I mean,
over 60 years, Dago, over 60 years.
yeah,
I
and
shit you not.
it goes so high, guys. And from my
Oh, yeah.
understanding, it's not. It goes way beyond Kevin Mullins and Mickey Stein. So way beyond, way
that's
higher
just,
too.
that's just the trigger. That's just what brought the attention there. That's
Yeah.
almost insignificant, really. But you need to know what it was, what it took Mickey to get to that point to tell the story. You can't do it
Right.
otherwise, because that's an extreme measure.
It is. Give me 1 second here. If you can hear me, George, we can absolutely set something like that up, my friend. I'll give you a way to contact me. I don't know why I can't pull you up. Something is going on your side of your equipment will not. It says that when I click on you, it goes to let me do it, but then it says that your stuff it just won't let me do it. And everything.
Have you got a limit on how many guests you can have? Because I'm streaming to my channel and I can cancel that.
No, I can have 10 up here if I want.
Okay, cool.
Welcome, SRB. Good to see you. Jesse Lynn, all you guys. Thank you to my moderators for joining me. But yeah, guys, we are going to be getting more into the Lecher County. Yeah, that sounds fine, George. We can do that on our own at some point. I'll give you, if you send me an email, George, I'll give you the email address. I'll give you a way to contact me, and you can have a conversation by ourselves, sir. If that's what you're comfortable with, we can go there for sure. No worries, brother. But yeah, we're going to be getting more into the Lecher County stuff. Once I get a hold of those two amazing ladies that have the strength to do what they've been doing, I will bring them in, set something up, and we will hear their stories here. What's that, ma'am?
You got to have a spare 6 hours once I get talking.
I have no problem doing that. So no problem. You can ask these people. I've done long ones. So yes, there again, guys, Jody's link to the Defense Rest. Please make sure you subscribe to her channel.
No, thank you.
Thank you. Amazing things. So what is going on in your world today, my friend?
I'm just up here as a result of peer pressure. Someone in chat said I should come up here.
Well, that's always.
I won't name names.
I'm glad they pressured you because we always love to hear from you, sir.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
I got you. I got you.
I could open us up in a conversation. I do have some, I guess, things on my mind.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you got going on? Let's hear what you got going on. That's what it's all about, guys. Open discussion is open discussion.
So to answer Rose's question, have I seen much of Morris's body cam? I haven't watched too much of that. I haven't had an opportunity, but what little I did see, I have an important takeaway, and maybe you guys have already had conversations about this, and if so, let me know, because I don't want to, have like repeated conversations.
That's okay.
If you already have, but I would say that the parts of the body cam that I've seen is, so I presume that'd be Officer Morris standing by the doorway at the lower level, at the main entrance there by the parking area, right? That's his body cam?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we're looking sometimes at Officer Payne. I think we saw Blaker in there, Captain Lanier, right?
Yes.
Okay. But I have heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't want to, take us on a conversation if it's based on something that isn't true or something that I'm assuming. So up in the house, what we can't see is Coroner Mabutt and Bill Thompson and Ashley Jennings. Is that right?
Disturbing to me. Yes, you are correct.
Okay, that's what I want to talk about. To me, there's a problem with that. And I challenge myself. I'm thinking to myself, well, if someone said, well, what's the problem with that? If someone wanted to be like playing devil's advocate with me,
sure.
I guess, because I'm no expert. So I would say, well, I don't know. I just know this. I just know it's a problem. So what do we do when we don't have the answer? To the internet, right?
Absolutely.
So I want to talk about this. In general, the prosecutor does not take charge of a crime scene. Instead, the role of the prosecutor is to review evidence gathered during investigations and decide whether to file charges.
That's right.
And
That
that's
is
just
correct.
that's just a cursory glance. I'm sure I could gather up enough information to have a 3-hour discussion or longer about it.
Right. I've been
Yeah.
complaining about
But-
that for a long time now.
But that is not
Present
the
an
point.
unbiased opinion.
Sorry.
If you
Hey,
were
Jody.
Present an unbiased opinion.
Opinion? Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Sorry, Eddie. Go ahead.
right, exactly, Jody. So, and thank you for that. So, my takeaway is who is in charge at that scene? I guess, who has the most rank?
Whoever the lead investigator.
It would. That's a good question. Actually, I would say Lanier or Lanier. Yeah, he would have been the ranking officer at that point. Being the captain, the chief was on his way. From what I could tell, from MPD, it would have been Lanier.
Did they not allocate a lead investigator for it? Or
Well, that's the weird thing. This is a good question, by the way, Eddie. I'm glad you put this out here because Ty Barrett, or I think his name was Tyson Barrett. That's it. He was the lead investigator initially. They were on the phone with him. They were actually talking a little smack about him while they were standing there. And we saw little baby Payne standing there. Okay. He was very quiet. He had not been put in charge of the investigation yet. Sergeant Blaker was there, who's the detective as well. But ranking officer, if you go by rank, would have and should have been Captain Lanier, who didn't seem to say a whole lot of anything. He was just kind of there. It was a little bit weird. Now, the other side to this is that we also found out throughout the case that Bill Thompson was in charge of everything. Okay. Everything. Everything went through him. So when he shows up, he's automatically the boss, which I don't see that being the way it should be, but that's
he's
how
not an
it turned out.
investigator.
Yeah.
There, you've touched on it. Because
Yes.
it might have been a bit of a trick question, because when you think of rank, you think of like the ranks through the
Yeah.
command structure of the police department. But
It's not always the case,
me,
is it?
the ranking person there would be the
Yes.
one upstairs that we can't see.
And that's weird because let me throw this. I don't know if you noticed it, but Ashley Jennings was in there twice. My understanding now is that she was the DA on call. So she shows up. Bill was in there somewhere. I didn't even see him go in the house. I just saw him come out of the house. For whatever reason, that wasn't shown. So I think Ashley went in there twice. She went in, did a walkthrough with Payne, and I think it was Talbot from the ISP. And then she comes back out on her own, no Bill. And then in the other video, we see them both come out together and they leave. So there again, I'm just throwing that out there. It has nothing to do with rank or who's in charge. But
No, Bill Thompson too isn't an investigator.
and that's what I'm saying. He's a prosecutor. And
Yeah.
again, I've complained for 3 years, guys, when I figured this out. Kathy Mabutt was standing over on King
Sorry.
Road, Queen Road, whatever the hell. I always get them mixed up. But she was there at 12:30, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, ready to go, and said that she was just letting them do what they do, which is what? What the hell were they doing? They were standing around all damn day, mostly. Okay. Took some pictures maybe and did this and did that. That's really all they did all day long. So in turn, she should have went in based on the law that I read, but I was told that it's different in Idaho based on what I know being a first responder, what I've seen.
Yeah.
Okay. And she should have went in, taken custody of the scene, called it what it was, murders, whatever it was, called the time of death, which she called at noon. And I think that was done on purpose. Because we all know it was not noon. Okay. They go in the house. There's no body cam footage of them in the house, walking through the house. There's my biggest problem. We have no idea what the hell they were doing in there. So
And you want to know the sad thing?
Yes, ma'am.
That's still 10 times more than they did for Karen Reed.
Oh, yeah, definitely, definitely. But at that point, I'm going to leave that sit there and give that back to Eddie to go forward with what he's saying, because we see body cam of this, that, and everything else from multiple body cams. But when the prosecutor goes in, him and Ashley and Payne, we have no idea what they're doing in there. They could be doing anything. And normally, I would never address that. But with this case, we have no choice but to address that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can identify that something is wrong there, something is off.
Absolutely.
It's not important for us to know precisely what that is. That's not, I guess, our aim. It's enough to know that it's off and it's wrong. So
Yes.
that then takes us kind of segue into the conversation as to whatever's happening, it's already on at that moment.
Yeah. Yeah, it has to be. Yeah.
What is it? What is it that has to be covered up? I guess, lack of a better word. Something has to be covered up. Already they know that.
Yeah.
And it also kind of reinforces the fact that we sense that the first responders, we sense that in Nunez body cam, something's off.
Yes.
The 8-hour delay with the 911 call, whatever's happening it's already in effect.
Right.
So what explains that, right? I guess.
Well,
that's where we're at with this.
we have, yeah, I agree. And there's multiple issues, Eddie. We have the sheath is one major issue. Okay. That's one. We have the positioning of the bodies and the fact that it's been stated that the murderer, Brian Koberger, as they claim, staged the scene that's already out there, that's been done, that we've been told. Things are getting moved before forensics can even go in and do this. We don't know when that happened, but things were moved. Furniture was moved all over the place in Xana's room. Things were moved in Kaylee and Maddie's room. The kitchen was moved. Things were moved. You should never touch a scene until forensics goes in and does what they're doing. But anyway, all of that stuff happens. So that's 3 things thus far that we have issues with. Okay. Not to mention the fact that the lead prosecutor is inside this house and there's no proof of what he's doing in there at that point in time. He could be suppressing evidence, tossing evidence, planting evidence. And I hate saying things like this, but am I wrong to say it because of what we've seen?
No, you're absolutely right. He could be saying, he's saying this is a truth and this is not a truth. He's saying how it goes in there.
Yes. And that's what I think too. In my opinion, he's inside. And we also heard Lecher and Gunderson talking about more than once, we need to get this out to the press. We need to figure out how we're going to present this to the press. We need to do this. We need to do that. There's multiple phone calls going on between certain people and other people. Payne's talking to Fry over the phone as Fry is on his way back from his hunting trip. There's all sorts of things going on in the background. We have no clue what they're talking about per se, what they're doing. Again, this could have all been solved if there was a body cam worn while all of these things were going on inside the house, those parts of it. There's multiple times that this sheath was found. They're talking about looking for a weapon at one point in that same video, folks, where they're saying we're looking for, and don't quote me because I probably have the words wrong, a military issued or Marine Corps issued knife, so on and so forth, which told us that they looked at the sheath. Okay. We have, I think it was either a forensics guy or somebody like that said he pulled back the blankets and saw the sheath. That doesn't make any sense based on the photograph we saw of where the sheath was. There was no blanket to pull back. It was teetering on the edge of the damn bed on the outside. We were told in the beginning, right? Yeah, and we were told in the beginning that the sheath was between the girls, underneath Maddie's leg or thigh, and under the blanket. That's not where we saw it either. Who put it where it was? That's my main question. And did Bill do that? Did Ashley do that? Did Payne do that? We also have Brett Payne in here renumbering things at some point. All of these things are issues, and these are the reasons why whatever went on in that house when that prosecutor went in there.
What time did he enter that house again? Like the timeline?
The prosecutor?
Yes.
I believe it was somewhere between 4 and 5:30 in the afternoon.
Okay, so 12 hours.
Basically, yeah.
Okay,
based on their timeline, yeah.
Yeah. I just had a thought. um, what if the reason that what's her name, Dylan, didn't call in for 8 hours? What if she did? Do we have a forensic download of her phone?
Kind of. We have what they gave us. That's it.
So is there anything prior to the 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. that morning?
Yeah, oh yeah. There's stuff that we have text messages and which
But
they
not the
show phone
metadata.
calls, but they're not giving us any details on it.
Is there metadata to go with it or not? Like,
Say that
'cause
one
I'm
more
just
time.
was there any metadata to go with it, or was it just like the
No,
screenshot?
just what it was. It just said that she did this at this time and that at this time, but
All
they
right.
don't give us the actual data itself.
What if she called someone to report it and they have advised her to sit tight, hang on until we work out something, and we'll send someone over and let you know what's going on? And
That's a
then
very plausible situation.
delay,
I mean,
delay, delay by
I'm not
time.
gonna, yeah, I'm not gonna dismiss any situation, Jody, because we all know, and like Eddie said, at that point, at that, this all starts in my. Okay, let me rephrase what I'm gonna say.
But
This is obviously a cover up. Okay, there's no doubt in my mind at this point now, no doubt whatsoever. Okay, and at this point now, I have to believe that at 12:01, when Officer Nunez arrives on scene, is when it starts. I'm going to give that the starting line right there. Okay. From that point forward, whatever happens is all it is intermingled and intermixed in this whole situation.
yeah,
Right. But even we can even predate, so to speak, that Dago, because he would have had to have been briefed. He doesn't have enough rank
Well,
to initiate that
yeah.
on his own.
And that's what I was going to throw something on the end of that, but I didn't get a chance to because I was going to say something else too. But you're right. You are right.
He
And here's
knows
why.
to do that because he was given a directive to do that.
Sure, sure. And here's the thing we found out recently that this came from a source, folks. And I'm not going to say it's an absolute fact. I don't have a way to do that. Okay. But there's recently been a statement made from a very reliable, I would call a very reliable source, that they knew who Brian Koberger was on November 15th. I can't verify that. And I cannot clarify anything about that. Okay. But what does that say to you if this is true? That they knew Brian Koberger on November 15th. When that statement was made, Twiz came right behind that and said, what if they knew who Brian was before the murders happened? Well, what if? And if that's true too, because it's very, again, another very plausible thought to me. If they did know who he was before the murders were committed, that plays into a whole other theory of mine. So this all has to be, if from my opinion, it's all scripted to some point. Now, I have always been the one that believed that the cover up started after the murders, that the murders happened, unfortunately, and then this all plays out. They realize what happened, and they have to find a way to explain it to the world and cover it up in that aspect. There,
Yeah.
that's where I believe it all comes from and where it starts at. That's my opinion. So,
did Brian have a criminal history at all?
no. The only thing he ever did was when he was using drugs, heroin back in the day, he stole his sister's phone and sold it for drugs when he was 16. That's what he's done.
Why else? Why would he be in the system? Why would they know about him before?
Well, that's a good question. That's a good question because here's part of the thing that I believe. Brian was given a referral by a teacher from Pennsylvania at his old school to WSU for that criminology program.
Yep.
Mind you, Wazoo has one of the best, if not the best, criminology department in the world per se, as far as schooling goes. One of the best. Okay, there were two choices Brian supposedly had, and he chose that one, and his teacher referred him there. He was also interviewing with WSU police or Pullman police as well, and some other things. And the man wrote papers. We saw about this exact type of scenario. Okay, there and I still have issues with the statement of his dad saying that Brian was gone for a while. We don't know where he was, but he was void for a while and then came back. So I don't know. I don't know what happened there. Okay. I have thoughts on it, and I have thoughts on this entire operation, I'll call it, because that's what it seems to be at this point. So
Hmm.
uh,
Did you
I was
raise
gonna
any
get
red flags? Like, I mean, I know when you, I don't know what the entrance requirements are for, universities and stuff over there, but a lot of people, especially in something like criminology, part of it is where they do a full personality like workup type of thing,
sure.
psychological workup.
Yeah.
Maybe some red flags were raised, perhaps in some of his answers. That's the only thing that I can think that
No
might have
idea. I
might have
but he worked in cloud-based forensics, and he was very interested in sexually based crimes, based
Yep.
on what we've been told. And he was very, very good at what he did with what he was doing. He was very smart, good grades,
Yeah.
all of this fun stuff was there. I gotta wonder the reason why I brought up the referral, if they knew who he was before the crimes happened, by say, okay, or
Yeah.
even by the 15th, they had to know who he was from another source, not because he was local. He was only there
Yeah.
from, I think it was the end of June. Okay, so July, August, September, October,
Yeah.
like July,
And
August,
it's a fair
September,
stretch
5
to
months.
say it's a fair stretch to have him at the scene if he's at Pullman and there's nothing to tie them together either.
There
If
isn't.
they,
There's never been.
no.
Ever been any way to connect him to anything or anybody there. Um, in fact, if it were ever to be able to be brought out, I think it's going to be proven that Brian was nowhere near the scene when these murders happened, that he was probably completely off in Lewiston or somewhere else. And I think that'll be proven at some point. But again, then what, like Eddie said earlier on, if we all believe this, we've all seen what we've seen. If I'm claiming that the cover up started, as I said, when Nunez gets there or before, obviously, for the directives to be given, whatever it is, for this is what's going to happen, this is how this is going to happen, however you want to see it. Okay.
Mm.
What was the deal? What was the cover up? What is going
Yeah.
on that they're doing? Okay. And we do still know there is a multi agency task force on the ground doing this stuff, what they're doing before this happens. In the midst of this happening, we have multiple Moscow PD officers going for FBI training. Chief Dallinger, who's chief now, but he was a captain then as well. He had graduated in March of 23. Um, so three months out from the murders, with FBI training from FBI training programs. At some point, Chief Fry was in Quantico doing training. What's going on with all of this? Okay. And is it because somebody fucked up and made a mistake somewhere? Is that what the cover up is? Or is it something different? But that's what Eddie's question is. Like he said, what is the cover up? What, we have an
Yeah.
idea of when it may have
Yeah.
started roughly, but what is it?
Yeah, that's the focus of the conversation.
Right.
All
It
right.
Sorry,
has to
I
be,
was so long winded on
and it
that, but I
really
wanted to
has to
point
be
out all
only
these things.
one. Sorry, I spoke
You're
over
good.
you.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
There really has to be, if you think about it, there's only one answer to that. It can't be like more than one thing that is the cause of
Yeah,
this. There's a
right.
primary reason, because it's got to be a very serious reason.
Of course. It has to
All
be
right.
for this
I wish I
situation.
knew it.
Yes.
But I
Can
can
I-
narrow it down, and it's not, I hate to like be the thought police or the conversation police, so I won't. But it has to, stand against the scrutiny.
Right.
If you're being really reasonable about what it can be. And I'll just kind of segue into just a thought, but I won't harp on it. But for so long, we have endured the repeated message. And you all know what happens when something is repeated enough. It becomes the truth. So
Yes.
for so long, it has been the economy. The college is the financial mainstay of the community.
Mm.
That doesn't work and it
No.
doesn't work for so many reasons.
Yep.
It's not a serious enough thing to cause that. Also, it wouldn't be in play at that early hour of the crime. And again, we can identify that it's in play before Officer Nunez arrived.
Yeah.
It's a serious thing.
The only thing that I can actually think of, and I mentioned this in your chat the other day, Dago, I was watching another YouTuber, and she was she is a psychic, and she's been doing readings on this case for years. And yeah, her theory was that it was law enforcement that was involved, and that would explain, the thin blue line and the whole police cover up, so to speak. It would answer that question.
Absolutely. Now I missed the last part of what you said, Eddie. If for whatever reason it cut out.
Where was I?
I heard you say something about Nunez, and then it for whatever reason it cut out completely, and it came back in.
Was everybody able to hear me? Did I get it on the record?
I think so.
Someone answer me in chat. Okay. Well,
Welcome,
I think my the point I was trying to make is we can identify that it was the cover-up. It can't be for many reasons. There's only one primary reason for it, and it has to, I guess, stand against the scrutiny,
right,
of objective reasoning. So,
Miss Ty's in the chat.
Gotcha.
We can see that, like you said, in so many words, Dago, moments ago, you said, can't prove it, but Bill Thompson is up there given direction. It's like, this is the way things are going to be. And we can almost feel that. I forget who it was down there at the main level by the doorway in the body cam of Officer Morris. But someone said, I can't believe that there is no evidence of the criminal leaving.
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing the best I can.
No, that's about right. He said that. I can't believe this happened and they left nothing behind. Yeah.
It is too early to have that as your opinion. Wait, there hasn't even been an investigation yet.
Exactly. And let me add you something to that, Eddie, because the way he said that, I think caught a lot of us sideways on that. He said, by the way, welcome, Miss Taya. Good to see you. Said, and again, I'm probably not hitting it exactly, but I said, I can't believe something like this happened and they left nothing behind. Well, but they did. According to what you guys have put out to us right after that, they left a sheath up there. So are you telling me that you didn't see that yet? Or are you just forgetting that that was up there? Or was it not there yet? Okay. And I can't remember exactly the time of that. I wondered that immediately when I heard him say that. Or was he just making a generalized statement as to like nothing more than that? But if that's the case, here's my thought. If he would have said that, knowing the sheath was up there, what I would have said would have been, I can't believe they did something like this and all they left behind was that damn sheath. That's what I would have said, not what he said.
Meaning is all over it, in my opinion. I thought,
and that's what I was. Oh, hold on, let me find it. Hold on. Sorry. Oh, I have to go way down here. Sorry. Where you at?
It's very recent comment.
I'm a looking. Where the hell is it? Hold on a minute. Thank you, Meg. And welcome, Meg. And Lucy, you got some, since Eddie's here. Hey, Lucy, you got some splaining to do. There you go, Eddie. Right there, I thought he was referring to Prince leaving.
Yeah, that's where my mind goes.
I mean, how would you know that already, though? Because they haven't done that. So,
but
that's a good point. They haven't done, or they shouldn't have been able to do any kind of dusting for prints and have any results back on any of that because forensics hadn't been in there yet. So that's an interesting point if that's true.
But that's how, in the end, that's how the investigation went. Is because we know it's impossible to do that and not leave any footprints behind. So
Yeah.
there was a cleanup. There has to be. Investigators would have known
Definitely.
that. So it almost seems like they're getting it on the record. They know that, okay, get your mindset like this.
Yes.
Because it's whatever it is, it's already in play. The game is fixed. That means they know something. So they know that, okay, the official can't be what really happened. We'll take care of what the official thing is in time. But right now, since what the official thing is going to be, it can't look anything like what reality was at the moment of when it happened. So these real footprints have to disappear because that's, of course, going to lead the investigation to who really did it. It feels like they know
Right.
that they already know that. So it's almost like, again, the person who's up in charge in that house has already, I guess, that's already commonly known to everybody. So it's almost like they're just getting it on the record, right?
That does make sense. That does make absolute sense. If that, making that statement,
Yeah.
knowing that it's on body cam, that does make sense.
Gee, look, there's just no trace of anybody. They just levitated right on out of here afterwards.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why that statement disturbed me. Now, like SRB said, that's the statement where they're discussing the sheets is at like 5:31 on the body cam. If I can go back and find exactly when that officer makes that statement, is it before? Is it after? And here's the thing, guys, is we have a timeline or a time crunch with this, in my opinion. We have Ashley and Bill in the house with Payne. Ashley in the house with Payne by herself with Talbot. And I don't know what they did up there. They could have all been in different rooms. We don't know. But Ashley goes in and she's not even in there that long. And she comes right back out. What were you doing? Okay. Were you giving a directive? Were you saying, hey, this is what we have to have here? This is what Bill said that needs to be done before he got there. I mean, guys, I hate to do this. And I don't like, as Miss Jody says, the wabbit holes. I don't like them. I want truth. I want reality. I want like the real deal stuff. Okay. But again, like I said earlier, we don't have a damn choice. So I have to go that direction because it doesn't make any sense any other way. Is that what was going on in there? I don't know. You don't know. Nobody does except for them. Hence again, no body cam. And I think that was absolutely disgusting that there was none. So 100%, it makes no sense to me. And I don't understand how they allowed for that. A welcome Appalachian Dreamer. Thank you for joining us, dear.
Hello.
Yeah.
So
I finally found the right link. I couldn't get my
Yes,
phone to
ma'am.
work. It wasn't
no
didn't
worries.
want to click on it wasn't showing me the whole live chat. It was just showing me like the top two messages and I couldn't see links or anything.
You
So I
probably
had
had
to
to
like
click
completely
on.
go back out of it and come back in. And then whenever I came back in, it was there. So
Well, what happens is it'll give you live chat and or regular chat, and if you're not on the or top chat, if you're not on the live chat, you don't get to see everything going on
yeah, I was
immediately.
totally in the wrong place.
That's
I
okay,
could
and it
not
happens all
figure
the
out how to
time.
get it to work right. But here I am.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you.
Are you following me?
Absolutely wonderful to have you here. But that's my point with that. That whole scenario. Give me one moment here, Taya. My apologies. I just want to finish my thought because I'll
Okay,
forget
it's
about
okay.
very
You
quick.
go ahead. My husband just pulled in with his chainsaw. I'm gonna get him settled, and then I'll be right back.
Yes, ma'am. So that's my period or my point and my thought on that. What I was just saying there, you guys, is I have bad feelings about it. We know that they lied. We know that they've withheld things. We know that they've done many things that you should not do when you're in a case like this. Okay, Ashley lies multiple times. I'm sure I could get Lucy rolling on this one here about the data that she lied she had. Jody, I put my number in the back chat for you to have if you need to reach out to me and
Oh,
or to
sweet.
give just anybody else to do that. So, but yeah, that is a fact in my opinion. Eddie, I don't know, I know your thoughts on it, but if you want to add to that at all.
Well, yeah, you're right. They've lied about everything. And what they do is they allude to something and allow us, the general public, to then draw our own conclusions.
Yes.
They've convicted him ahead of time in the court of public opinion through, leaking to the media these false, quote, facts. All of it's
Absolutely.
lies. And we can, it's numerous times. I don't know if we had enough time up here today to figure them all out and list them all.
Probably
but
not.
I want to impress one that I still think falls short, even on this community, while we're on the subject. And that is, I still hear people saying that the only thing they got was his DNA on the sheath. And now I don't believe that.
I don't.
And the reason is,
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you.
All I was going to say was at this point in juncture within this, guys, I don't even know that that's even true anymore. I don't.
You know why I don't?
Let's hear it, buddy.
I'm sure we've all seen it, but maybe it's just been, a month or so since we have. And again, if you hear something 1,000 times, that becomes true. And if the real truth is said one time, you'll believe that for a moment, but then you'll revert right back to what you've heard 1,000 times.
Yes.
That might be what's happening here. But if you look at Pavarotti's video, he explains it so well. It's titled, Larkin says it's not even Brian's DNA on the sheath. And he breaks it down. It's a little bit longer of a video. I think it's closer to 35 or 40 minutes. But it's worth rewatching because I still think even the people with the best intentions here will still echo that that it was, the only thing that they have on him is he left DNA on the sheet.
Right.
And Pavarotti has broken down so well that he makes a stronger case that it's not his DNA at all.
Right. Right. And that's something I've been believing for a minute. And I'm actually planning on doing a show about, is it Brian's DNA or not? That's coming up this week as well. And I'm going to go into the DNA stuff a little bit more during that show, but that's the main topic of that point. So if you're available,
wasn't it? It wasn't blood. It was skin cells.
It was trace DNA. It was a minuscule, tiny little
on the snap.
No, it wasn't even on. They lied about that too. I'm going to show you real quick. They told us for 3 years that it was in there. Okay. In that snap.
Yeah.
That's not where it was. Based on the documentation, the paperwork we got, it was on the strap of the snap.
Oh.
Okay. So let me ask you something, Jody.
Yep.
Why did they tell us that for 3 years and then all of a sudden we get paperwork that tells us something different?
Yeah. I can say that I can put it down to fuckery.
Okay. And that has happened. How many times, you guys, has that happened now? They've told us this. They gave us a PCA that was absolute toilet paper. It was garbage. Yeah. It was worse than a piece of Swiss cheese. And then they themselves turn around and said it's irrelevant. Okay.
It seems to be happening more and more often, I think, Dago, too. Like almost every single case that comes through now, if it's not in a plea deal, it's full of fuckery.
And I've said that too. I said, when are we going to see, Lee has said that, and so has JJ up there. I brought it up many times. When are we going to see a cut and dry, black and white case? I haven't seen one in so long, I forget what it's like.
No.
It's just he did it or she did it, and that's it. It's done. It's over. Move on. They don't happen anymore.
No.
It's
and
sad.
Maybe that's because there are people like us out there that will question the narrative and will delve a bit deeper and not just believe what the this regular mainstream media tells us.
Well,
Maybe it's a good
and
thing.
exactly, because this can happen to anybody. This could happen
Absolutely.
to anybody, and that's why we do what we do. Um, you know, not to mention, we do different variations of things, as when we're going to discuss things with Miss Taya here, so on and so forth. That's a different situation, but it's still a horrible situation that needs to be exposed to the world.
Oh,
As much
absolutely.
as corrupted police officers and corrupted government covering up and hiding details and evidence in a murder case. Same shit, okay, but different topics. That's all. So that is absolutely why we do what we do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think
Kentucky
that they don't
level.
that. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're right. Sorry. Kentucky's just a whole nother level.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's an understatement for damn sure.
Uh-huh.
But the thing is, but so is Moscow. So is Delphi. Okay, these areas they're like, this can't be true. This is a Lifetime movie, for Christ's sake. Guess what? It's real, folks, and it happens day after day in front of our faces.
Oh yeah.
That's the problem. So,
Yep.
thank you, Leah. Um, Anything else to add to that, Eddie?
Not so much on that, but I think we as a society are really dumb. When
I agree.
yeah, it's easy to see how you can lead 6 million people into the cattle.
Oh, absolutely.
Easy.
And it's not our fault, but yeah, it's
Nope.
true.
So if we can echo what the truths are in this case, people will slowly, I think, then adopt that narrative and echo it in turn. But it's not safe when you stand alone. And although I think many of the guilters are intelligent enough to believe, and they have believed early on, as early as many of us in this case, the truth that Brian Koberger is not guilty, although we can't prove it. I mean, Jeff, and
Right.
I mean, there's so many very,
Right.
very intelligent people, but they can't be believing that Brian Koberger did it and be that intelligent at the same time. So,
Right.
JLR, I know I can't prove it, but he doesn't believe. He's just after the money.
Yes. Well, he's got a whole set of other issues
and I
to
hate
deal
to
with
say
now.
we're doing a true crime case, and I don't mean to segue into this conversation yet. We could do
No,
it later,
you're good.
But I oftentimes wondered if Magnolia even believed it, because who's gonna have the gumption, the courage to be, she's in a relationship with him and she's on his channel. She's not, although she may believe, I can't prove it. I hope this is true, that she knows that Brian Kober is not guilty, but she's obligated to echo the content creator's opinion.
And at this point, knowing what we know now, you got to wonder
if she knows what's good for her.
If it was forced down her throat.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
That said, sometimes likes attract likes. Maybe they both think that, and who knows? I wish I knew, but anyway, I kind of segue into something. But
no, you're good. You're good. At some point, we're going to have that discussion too. So,
but okay, so like some so-called experts that are on panels of other channels, and that we've had to endure. Yeah, it is funny, and like. One person did this crime and he went upstairs, and then how easy it is to dispatch another human. It's just, and then you go down. That was simple. Then right downstairs, and then you're done.
Yes.
And some quote unquote experts believe that, and then when confronted with the question of, well, why didn't he then finish off the other two? Well, at least the other one that he saw, maybe he maybe he didn't know that there was one more downstairs, but how about the one that he saw? And then to revert to the excuse of, well, he was tuckered out, or he saw the clock ticking down and he knew he had to get out. I mean, Scott, oops, did I say that? Didn't mean to. I won't say the last name, but
yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yes.
And we had to endure these things for so long.
Absolutely. And again, just like everything that went through this case, well, you can't talk about Dylan and Bethany because they're victims, and you can't look at this, and you can't question
Are
that,
they?
and right, you can't question what the Gonsalves are saying because they're victims of, or they're family of a victim. You can't look at this wrong. You can't say that. You can't. I'm done with that.
Mm.
I'm done.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, I'm tired of it all, and I've been saying for a week now. It's time to step outside the box because everything that they have packed nice and neat inside this box
Mm-hmm.
is just for them, not for us. Okay. That's why it doesn't work for us. That's why we can't get any answers out of any of this stuff. And
Well, we
that's why
don't
I've
have a
been
narrative. They all
right.
have something to gain or lose.
Yes.
So
Yes.
what have we? There's nothing that we have that we're not personally invested in that bubble. So we can be more objective and
Of course.
present. Yeah.
Absolutely. You look absolutely extremely comfortable, Jody. Absolutely.
Oh no! Have I turned my camera on?
Yes, you did. I was like, she looks too comfortable for me. Yeah, your
Oh my
camera's on,
lord!
dear.
All
You
right,
want me to?
let's go.
I can pull you here.
Turn
I'll
my
pull it.
camera on.
Yes, I'll pull it down for you for right now. It's okay.
It's like 4 a.m. here, so actually, no, it's later than
I was
that.
like, she looks
Now.
too comfortable for me. Yeah,
Oh
your
my
camera's on,
lord!
dear.
All
You're
right,
right.
let's go.
I can pull you. Here,
Turn
I'll
my
pull it.
camera on. Cancel my.
Yeah, I'll pull it down for you for right now.
Luckily,
It's
I've got
okay.
it like a trusty mouse.
Hold on a minute. I got a whole bunch of things. There we go. Do you want me to leave you up there or take you down?
That's better. All good.
There you go. Okay. You're good.
They
You're
can't
good.
put it on the mouse.
I was looking and I was like, it took me a minute to realize, but I'm like, you look stupid comfortable there. Oh my God. Okay.
I am stupid comfortable.
There you go. Hey, if it works, it works. No,
That's
no
why I
issues
fell
here.
asleep on you and leave you.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Believe me, you're not the only one that does that. I promise you that. So don't worry
Oh,
about that.
that wasn't the first time it's happened either.
And see, they said it. We all do it. So don't worry about it at all. You're good to go. But yeah,
Funniest thing was the first time I did it was during a live stream and it was only me streaming. And
Uh-huh.
I was streaming a trial and I fell asleep for 2 hours. So I woke up to 2 of my mods in chat chatting for 2 hours and couldn't even hear the trial because of my snoring.
it happens. It happens to the best of us. I've fallen out while
Oh,
alive after doing, long ass shows at midnight,
yeah.
1 o'clock in the morning. It's happened before. Many of us have done it.
Well, see, my day starts at 12 midnight or 1 a.m. because
Yeah, you're
of the time
completely opposite of us over there.
Yeah.
I think. So yes, no, it's it was good for a laugh. At least I love it. At least you can be comfortable. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. So, um, but no, sorry to sidetrack us, guys. Back to what we were saying, though. I completely lost my train of thought. Eddie, what was I saying?
Whoa,
You're
whoa,
kinda
whoa, wait.
remembering.
We were still talking about how public opinion about the case, about we know that Brian Kohlberger is innocent, and prosecutor is up in the House directing things.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we were
And
kind of
that's
all over the
right.
board as far as
I
Congress.
was going off about being in the box and out of the box. That's it. Yes, thank you. And that's the problem, folks. They first off, they underestimated the true crime community, the internet, YouTube, all of that. I'm sure they never factored that into this whole entire situation until it started to happen. Then when it started to happen, they had to make alterations to what they were doing, obviously,
Yeah.
as they've done. Okay. And at this point now, if you notice, there's a lot of people that are, doing public records requests that are being denied. This is happening. That's happening. They're giving us certain information, but they know that it's not going to answer our questions. Okay. It just gives us another reason to look into something else and go another direction. This is what they've done the whole time. And I'm just over it. I'm beyond over it. I've talked about this case for 3.5 years almost, you guys. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I haven't gotten any further. None of us have. Maybe a couple little details here or there we've learned of something different, but have we gotten anywhere with it? No. And that's exactly what they want with this case,
Yep.
okay? It's enough. It's enough. There has to be a give, okay? There has to be a place where this is going to give off something so that we can have some damn answers. Is all I'm saying. So, and that's Eddie's right. He says it all the time. We'll probably never know the absolute truth
No.
unless a whistleblower comes forward or somebody is forced into it somehow or another. But that's probably true. But at least we should at least know the truth about who did this is what I want to know. Truly, or why, at least why. You know what I mean? That would
Mm.
probably give me enough to shut up for a little while.
Mm.
But this has broken the Constitution. This has proven absolute lay down corruption, period. There's no doubt about it. You know, like I said, with Letcher County, that's
Oh,
that goes beyond corruption to that aspect. These are two different versions of it, though. Is what I'm saying.
yeah.
So
Yep.
it's horrible. And
Yeah.
now we have like Othram. Okay, Othram is on the front face of all of this, doing their thing, and it's a joke to me. It's a joke because I don't believe that they got to Brian Koberger with the bullshit from Othram. I never have, and I never will. Like I said earlier, supposedly they had his number or his name at by November 15th or before. That has nothing to do with Othram. I'm sorry. So, at least based on what we know. So that's kind of what I feel about what Eddie brought up today for sure. Um, I don't know if you had any more to add to that, bud, but
No, it would.
I mean, if you want to save some of that stuff, because I'm telling you, this DNA thing we're going to be doing with Brian and all that is going to be an interesting conversation. So I'm sure you have more to add to that too.
Yeah, that's worth us all revisiting, because I've said in the past that um, when we echo misinformation, it's harmful.
Of course.
Because
Thank you, SR.
maybe it's not intended to be harmful, but what it does is, so it took us time, right, to have that live stream and to have those conversations, and there's only so many hours in a day. But if we're talking about that gibberish, but instead we're not talking about I guess the case facts, what we do know.
Yeah.
In other words, we're talking about like who could it be that really did this, in theories on that, rather than like why everything points to Brian Koberger is innocent. Well, that's harmful because it was time taken away from us being, I guess, lack of a better term, a safe place to have those conversations, because people observe like the habit or the practice. If it's not cool to talk about such things in such places, then those conversations aren't had, right? And people learn
Right.
how
Right.
how to talk. So
And
if
that's what
we're
happened. Yeah, you're right.
yeah, so that's how it can be harmful to, I guess, be sniffing
Yeah.
down the wrong path and spending
And
time doing that.
not only that, but it also, and it has done it. You know, for years. It's also caused confusion. There's so many people that have come into this case completely and totally fucking confused for no apparent reason. And there's people like, yourself and myself and Lucy and Tomboy and that are trying to point like, hey, this isn't right. This is what the truth is actually. Here's what this is wrong about. This is not what was right. This is fixing misinformation. And we all spend so much time trying to do that it, like you just said, it takes away from the actual point of what we're supposed to be doing and
Yeah.
trying to be doing. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's
I know
happened.
exactly what you mean. You know what I call it? I call it cat herding.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Like,
It is.
several times I've stepped away from the case because it's like I just throw my hands up. It's like cat herding. I mean, you just spin your wheels, and so yeah, I totally feel you.
And I think that's they do what they do to have that happen on a regular basis because that takes us away from what they want us. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I agree with that fully. So, good points. Very good point and great conversation for sure.
Is Miss Tyler still here, or?
Yeah, she's here, and I feel bad because I haven't really spoke to her much yet. Is there anything else you wanted to add to that part of what we were talking about, Eddie?
No. We can hear from others too.
Okay. And if you guys don't mind, I would like to go ahead and introduce first the name on the channel is listed as Appalachian Dreamer. If you guys remember when we were deeply covering the Letcher County situation, for those of you that are newer, I'll show you what it is. And at some point, this very brave woman, I can't remember her last name, but her first name is Taya. I just say Miss Taya because that's how I refer to most women. She came forth
It's
and she
Adams is what it is in the news reports.
Adams.
That's my
There we go.
married name. Yeah.
Taya Adams. Thank you,
Yeah.
ma'am.
But
Thank
now my legal name is still Lanu and my charges were under Lucas, so it gets a little complicated with the name
Gotcha.
changes.
Got
So
you.
yeah,
Well,
just
and that's
Taya's good.
there we go. So I just call her Miss Taya. That's best for me. So please be very welcoming to her. The
Thank you.
bravery and the absolute amazingness to be able to do what she's done. She came forth. She gave an interview to Brian Enton and told her story. Okay, and it was just we all watched it. Of course, it was amazing. And again, like I said, the bravery that and the courage that you had to do that is just
Oh,
beyond.
you got no idea.
Yes. So, and I'm going to show real quick what got me into this case. Just give me 1 second, Miss Taya, real
Thank
fast,
you.
and
Thank
then
you
we
for
will
that
jump in.
wonderful introduction too.
Oh, absolutely. That's nothing compared to what it should be. But so this, if you guys, for those of you that have been here, you know what this here is. Oh shoot, that's wrong thing. But this is
Right?
Sheriff Mickey Steins. Okay, this is I don't know why they blurred it all out, of course, afterwards, but initially we could see the full deal thing happen in real time. But this is them showing it in the courtroom. This is Sheriff Mickey Stein shooting Judge Kevin Mullins. Okay, there's an
Allegedly.
interaction where Mickey walks into his office. There's multiple people in there. Oh, you can actually hear that's the audio from the
That's
courtroom.
the courtroom, yeah.
Yeah. Which, of course, is family crying, so on and so forth. Understood. I get it. But there's a whole other side to this, guys, that we come to find out that is absolutely horrifying, and Ty is going to tell us that story. God bless her, too. So, and again, Mickey, you can look at this however you want to look at this, that a sheriff shot a judge. And I was like, holy hell in a handbag. What did I just watch? Okay. So, it's very strange, and we sat for months upon months going, why in the hell would
I
the
have
sheriff?
lost sound.
Oh, can you? No, you can't hear me. You're muted. Can you hear me? Maybe she might have to go out and come back in. Can you hear me,
The
Taya?
internet out there is terrible.
I'm sure because of where she's at. Can she not hear me? Hello, hello. Hold on.
Refresh, maybe. Taya, refresh your screen.
I don't know.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there she
Yep.
goes. Yeah, she can come back in.
You
So
come back.
while we're waiting on her to jump back in here, when I first saw this, I shared this. I'm like, Jesus criminy, what the hell just happened here? We watched a sheriff shoot a judge. That's never
Allegedly.
happened that I've ever seen. Can you hear me now?
Yes, there it is. I had
Oh,
to refresh my browser.
no
Sorry.
problem. Any issues? I know where you're located. That's horrible out there. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
it's my Wi-Fi is spotty. The cell service has said SOS half the day today, so I don't know what's going on. It just
That's
keeps
okay.
jumping around.
We'll
Yeah,
work with it however we have to make it work.
I
So
apologize.
no, don't apologize, please. I'm just grateful to have you here. So when this all happened, like I said, it was a period of time we were trying to figure out why he did it. There was rumors about this, that, and everything else, so on and so forth. And it just mesmerized me so completely. And then, like I said, Miss Taya came forth with her story, and the whole world went, "What the hell?" And again, we know these things go on, but do we? Okay, we don't. And I never imagined that the level that this could be, as she's going to explain to some extent, how bad this is. Okay, and how unbelievable this is. And again, most people would say that didn't happen. That's not true. That's not real. But guess what? It
It
Yep.
is.
absolutely is. And it
Yep.
absolutely
So
did. And
yeah,
Absolutely.
in many cases, it absolutely still is happening right now
Yep.
as we speak to others.
all
Right here in
right, and
Lecher County.
that's my understanding. So
Yeah.
let's start there then. Let's go back if you don't mind. And again, welcome, and everybody. Again, thank you for being here for this. I didn't expect this. I'm grateful that you're here, though. So thank
I
you.
didn't expect it either. I just happened to get lucky, and you were the first thing that popped up on my phone whenever I opened it. So it must have been meant to be.
Well, it was. Sounds like it
Yeah.
to me, and I'm grateful. So, I guess let's start. How long have you lived in Letcher County?
My whole life.
Okay, born and
Yeah, I
raised in
tried to.
Kentucky.
Born and raised here. Yeah, over on Thornton. It's up in a holler.
Yeah,
Um, but I've tried to leave here many times.
sure,
The first time was whenever my first daughter was born, and that
gotcha.
was before they took her from me, before they stole her from me. Um, and then
Wow.
many times after. And then the last time I had tried to leave was whenever I was trying to leave with my twins to escape an
Mhm.
abuse situation, and
Right,
they locked me up. They put a warrant on me for child support in the middle of the night and sent the cops to get me 3 hours away and
gotcha.
brought me back. And then that's when all my charges and everything happened that got me wrapped up in the system and that I couldn't escape from.
Wow.
And
Just
they just, I never would have spoke up and said anything. I mean, I really wouldn't have if they hadn't have kept moving the goalpost.
of
Move the
course.
goalpost, move the goalpost. If you achieve this milestone, we'll let you go. You do this, we'll let you go. You do that, we'll let you go. You do this, that, the other, yes, you could have your kids back. But none of those things ever happened.
Right. I remember you saying that.
Here I
So,
sit, I'm still on parole till 2099. I
Yep.
still have to pay a fee in every month to them. I still have to drive and spend gas money to go and report into them every month. I'm subject to searches, drug tests, all these violations of my human rights. I cannot vote. I cannot bear arms.
wow.
I
And
cannot do, I have no rights because they keep moving the goalpost. I served
of
out all my
course,
time,
yeah.
served my sentences, did my thing, got sober, did the right thing. And
And
they
they
did
still
not want
won't
to,
give
they
you
still won't let go.
because they
Nope.
want to
Still,
keep
even with
you
all
under
the
that thumb.
exposure and knowing the whole world is watching them, they
Yeah.
still won't let me go.
Yeah.
And so
So
that being said, this started for you what year and how old were you?
I was 16 whenever it started with the judge. He
Yeah.
trafficked me from the age of 16 to 20.
Mhm.
And then that's when my life started falling apart. That's when they took my first daughter. It was right after my mom died and
And
started locking me up and sending me off to rehab and stuff. And I
even
started
though
learning how this slavery operation works.
Uh-huh.
and with you saying that, because I remember you said that this all starts with drugs and stuff like that, that they feed you guys to start this
Yeah,
cycle.
mind you, I was a
Yep.
minor and the judge was doing cocaine with me in his office. So, like, you can't blame it on the drugs. You can't blame my addiction on me.
No, no,
Like, I own, like, I've, it has caused me to do a lot of undesirable things over the
of
years.
course.
Yes.
Yeah.
But when you look at what's really going on here,
Yep.
It's
Try to
like,
set up.
you've got to
Try to
take a
set
broader
you up.
look at what's really happening to these people, you know? And many people were already started on the addiction track by their doctors. That's something else that we've been digging into, like
Yep.
how
we
this
had that
cycle of
problem here
abuse
too.
keeps
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah, I actually had, and I'll be honest with you, so everybody know. A lot of people do know this that I'm a recovering addict and alcoholic as well. I had a bad addiction to pain pills because my doctor was a script writer. I had a severe back injury, which is why I retired as a firefighter. And all he did was take this, take this, take this for 12 years because it was money in the bank to them every time they did it. Okay, and it was forever. It was forever. Okay. And I finally beat it, got off of it, all that. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? But it happens to everybody because it's about this. It's
All
all
right.
about this, of
Yep,
power,
it's about the money.
money
Yep.
and
All right, baby. So you
Money and
understand?
control. That's
You
something
understand
else is that they use that to discredit victims, to keep you
Yes.
from speaking up.
Mhm.
Oh, she's just a crackhead. I think it was, wasn't it Daniel Dotson, Jody, that said in that deposition, some crackhead wanting money, talking about another one of the victims. I think
Yep.
maybe the one they killed,
Yeah.
Jennifer
Yes.
Hill.
Yep.
And this
That's how they
Jen
referred to her. And she
Yep.
she was sober at the time. You know, like
and,
she had
yeah,
addiction problems, but she was a good woman
Jennifer
nonetheless.
Jennifer Hill, by the way, just so you guys understand this, a lot of you don't know this. Jennifer Hill went to the grocery store, bought groceries, went home, and dropped dead from an overdose as she was taking her groceries in her house. No, she
Yep.
didn't. No, she
Oh.
didn't. Jennifer Hill was given a what they call a hot shot, folks.
Yes, sir.
Somebody caught her sideways. She was not realizing what was going on because she was going to be testifying. Okay,
Yep.
and just drops dead right there while taking her groceries in the house. Everybody knows that's not. You don't do that. It doesn't work that way. Okay, so thank you guys. So
There was
yeah,
actually
that's
3 defendants. Did you know that, Dago? In Sabrina's case, there was 3 women
I
that were
knew of
going.
Jennifer
Yep.
for sure. I
Yep.
know we've talked in the past about a couple of who were the others, if you can say it. If not, don't worry about it.
She's okay with the name, isn't she, Tyre?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So the actual first victim of
No,
Ben
yes.
was Brianna, and she the whole concept over there, she didn't actually go forward with it because the grooming didn't progress to actual penetration. So she didn't believe that there had been an assault at all or an abuse.
Can I
Because
point
they,
out that this is going to end up being a very important part of this? That it didn't matter if you said yes or not. It did not matter if
no.
you consented, even though that's not even a thing whenever it's an officer and an inmate. That's not
That's
even real,
Gotcha.
right? They can't consent. But
No.
even with them being groomed to say yes and to do the act, didn't help them, but it sure didn't help the ones that said no either. They still got punished and set up and run through the ringer. And that's Bree's case illustrates that.
Yeah. The way these women have been taught and what they've learned is that how do I explain it? Like, so Brianna, basically, even when Sabrina was going through the court case, she
Right.
made a comment to me saying that, oh, she's just trying to rip off the system because she took the drugs, she did the sex, she encouraged it. She
Yeah.
didn't understand that her rights were being violated by someone in a position of power.
Yes.
So
And
she
that
she
was the
didn't.
attitude.
Yeah, she didn't understand the grooming
No.
side to what was going on with it. She
And
had no
she
And the
idea.
power imbalance. It's
Yeah.
more about the power imbalance and how diabolical that is for somebody that holds the keys
Yep.
to your jail
Absolutely.
cell.
And this is
They
understand
can
something, you
deprive
guys.
you of your children. They
Yep.
can, they do, and they do. They do.
They have. They have.
They
Yes,
have and
they
they
have.
do and they continue to do so. Even the ones, yeah, I can't even
And
get
a lot of the
started.
people that are involved in this have no idea that this is even wrong. They're so used to this. This is how they
Yep.
were raised. They're,
They've,
they've been here their whole lives.
Bingo.
This
Bingo.
is
they've
They're like,
exactly what
oh, it's
normalized,
they're.
always been like this. That
Yeah.
don't make it right, y'all.
Right.
they've
No, you're
normalized,
absolutely
Don't make
right.
it right.
That's the
they've
biggest
not,
problem right there. Is
yep.
when you get up every day of your life and you brush your teeth at 8 o'clock in the morning, day after day after day
Yep.
after day after day. And that's normal. Until somebody
They've
looks at you and goes,
normalized victimization.
you could have done it at 10 o'clock in the morning, Dago, or 11 o'clock.
Yep.
Well, what do you mean? I've always done it at 8 o'clock. You know what
Yep.
I'm trying to say, guys? It's just
Yeah.
this is their life, day after day, year after year, and it's an unbelievable, unbelievably normal to them, which is
Yep.
why, like she was saying. So there's the problem, and that's why nobody has ever second guessed this, looked at this until
Correct.
Miss Taya comes forward, makes her statements, and Brandy comes out and makes her statements. The I call her little girl because she was little. The girl that used to work for the jail when you did your
Sarah.
interview with Brian,
She's
Sarah.
she
still a
worked there
little
what?
girl to me too.
Yeah,
Yep.
she worked there like 3 months or something like that, and they tried to
Yep.
pull her in, and this is what they do. I noticed this just watching this. They want you involved in what's going on with them. That way
Yes.
they can hold you accountable. You can't turn around and tell on them,
Can't
basically.
hold them
Okay?
accountable because they're going to throw it up in your face. That, oh, wait, what about
Exactly.
what
You
you
were
did?
there. Yeah, you were there.
Yep.
You were at the poker
Should have
parties.
said
You were at
something then. Yeah. So
bingo.
many things, so many tactics that they use to shut us
Yep.
up.
Right.
They go
And
that Sarah is Brandy's daughter.
Yeah.
yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Sarah. So that's right. The Brandy, the
Yep.
other lady, her daughter is Sarah, the worked for the jail
The
that had.
whistleblower for the jail.
Yes, there
Yeah.
we go. Thank you,
And
guys.
you
I'm
know what
getting
the
old.
consequences of that was?
No, I
Oh,
actually don't.
To have her children taken off her.
Again, this is what they do. So does she
Yep.
still have them? They're still gone.
still
Yep.
fighting for them.
Yep.
But get this. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this or not, but I'm going to say it anyway. I know Sarah says it's okay for me to say it. Now, here recently, there was a post going around Facebook talking about this man who left his DNA in a 13-year-old little girl.
Oh my gosh.
He's on the run still to this day. Turns out this same man is the one who molested Sarah when she was 11 years old. Jimmy
That happened to her
Kraft,
too. I didn't even know.
the judge was his defense attorney in that case.
Yep.
That's the judge that removes Sarah's children and refuses to let them even have visitations.
Conflict of interest much?
And you would think that these judges would maybe work with these people a little more, knowing that they could
No.
whistleblow on them,
No.
No,
or because they know that they're untouchable. Maybe
they
that's
think
why.
they're untouchable. They think they're untouchable, but
That's
they're
All
right.
right,
not.
Lee. You
They're
know how
not. That means for them.
you mentioned the
Because God
concept.
sees everything, you know?
Wow.
You mentioned the
And
concept before, Lee, about you know, the pharmaceutical and making money off it. Yeah.
right, yeah,
Okay. Now imagine that in every aspect of your life, from the Department of Education, it starts at the Department of Education.
right,
They have truancy, and because the Department of Education has Title IV funding, okay, the actual
right.
jailer, his first job was school resource officer, so he would feed from the school those truants, and they would get charged, and then they would enter the system. When you're into the system, you are then part of, again, Title IV funding.
Right.
The
And you're
jail,
talking about
rehab.
Ben Fields, right?
No, I'm talking about everyone, the citizens.
Anybody that works that.
Yes.
Okay, got you.
Yes, from childhood. So they take the money from the Title IV funding, which is federal money,
Yeah.
the grants and what have you. If they lost there because there was so much truancy, so then they made that they arrested the truant children and put them into the system and sent them to a rehab program, which is funded by federal government, state for funding. Then
Yeah.
they put them through to, every time you go to a jail, they have federal for state for Title IV funding. Every
Right.
time they go to a court hearing, state funding. It is CPS.
And beyond that state funding, we are paying out of pocket
Every
for
aspect.
all the
You
inconveniences
have to
too.
pay for your
For
own.
everything. We
Yeah.
pay for our own drug tests, we pay for our own court costs, we pay for our own transportation and everything to get there. We pay probation fees, we pay the classes that are offered that they get all this funding for that we just covered in our show the other night.
Oh, yes.
All these Class C classes and programs that they have, we pay for those too, and our books,
And if you
and our
don't,
books. Yet they're getting millions to give us the classes.
Right. And if you can't or don't, you go to jail, right?
Yeah. Or yeah, I mean you can choose not to take the classes, but
Right.
now it's not gonna help you. The point of the classes is to do
Right.
better for your life. So get some time off your sentence and maybe learn some stuff about yourself, you know?
And here's
But
the
there is some
problem.
value in the classes. It's the way they go about it and the
Yeah.
way that they're robbing everybody in the process, but they're still getting paid millions upon millions to offer them.
And that was one thing Kevin Mullins was
But they're not
correct.
even, they don't have them in Letcher County though.
No.
I don't know if you caught that part yet or not. They offer
No.
them or say that they're offered, but they're not.
They're not.
So they
That's
claim the
interesting.
grant money, but they don't offer the service.
Right. I'm about to
How
pull
is
my
that even? How are they
out.
getting away with that? And nobody's looking at that with the
Because
federal
I've
side.
only just worked it out myself.
Yeah, we just found it. We
Yeah.
just figured it out.
Yeah.
Oh
So,
wow!
Jody
And that's
figured
what
it out. She
wasn't
did the
that
homework on it.
wasn't that what Mullins was like overseeing? Was this whole drug
Yes.
court program and everything?
yeah, that's part of it.
Yes.
So everything that
Part
has
of
a
it.
word program at the end of it pretty much has the Title IV funding. So what happens is the actual ankle monitor company, the ankle monitor program, has 4 independent sources of revenue. They actually have the capabilities of funding those home incarceration programs for the girls.
Yeah.
They don't offer it.
Yep. They still make you pay out of pocket, even though they've got funding to pay for it.
They
Well,
have
let me
the
see.
option
That's
of giving
unbelievable.
state-funded
Yep. And
program.
so they can demand sex and these other fucking off the wall things.
Yeah.
That's why they don't tell you. So they can take you your money, but they also have their marionette strings hooked to you. You know?
So
And that's go ahead.
so what happens is that they have actual funding grants for this. Now they had the option, the prison had the option of choosing a state funded ankle monitoring program, but they chose a private one because that way they can actually use that and claim all of it. And so the ankle monitoring company has a set fee, but the actual person that runs it, which was Ben, the price that he charged was totally up to him. Unbeknownst to the people that were on the program, there were options for them to have it funded by the prison itself because they're given that money as a grant. So what
Right.
happens is that money gets pooled. This is my belief anyway. So that money gets pulled into a fund, a federal fund. And the
Yeah.
way they funnel it in, so like the Lecher County Jail house, well, the programs that they offer are to be taught by a level C funded facility coordinator, which they
Right.
are not a level 4 facility. They're not supposed to house those. So they cannot actually, they don't employ anyone that can teach those programs either. So the way they get around that, they actually apply for that federal grant funding from the federal government through MCHC. Have you ever heard of them?
NCIC.
MCHC, Mountain Comprehensive Healthcare. Mountain Comprehensive Healthcare is the conglomerate that owns every pharmacy, every doctor's surgery, every contract for health, every rehab place, everything. They have the conglomerate. They own all of it. Every drug that
Wow.
comes into Kentucky, they have the dibs on. They have the contract on the jail. They also have the level 4 classification to apply for this federal grant funding, and that's how they launder the money into the jail.
Okay, and so that was one of the questions Tomboy Charm, one of my moderators, had just asked. Like, so that money, being that it's not being used for that, obviously, where is that money going? Into their pockets?
Okay, so there's two aspects to it. You have the Kevin Mullins part where you have the depraved sex party shit going on,
Yeah,
but
right.
everyone else, the complacency, the turn a blind eye, what do
Sure.
they get for it? They all have their hand out.
And so,
That
yeah,
money funds
yeah,
that. Okay,
and
it
yeah,
funds the corruption.
exactly. So, for those of you that don't understand, the case that Lee was covering and talking about, um, very heavy still, still looking into things here and there, all keeping a wide eye on it, okay?
Yep.
Sabrina, the one that just was supposed to have her trial, so on and so forth,
Yep.
was the one. Ben Fields was the jailer at that point, who used to
Correct.
be,
Well,
he was a bailiff, and then he was whatever the hell they call it down there.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
anyway, yeah, he was basically, like you heard her say, that he could create whatever cost he wants to charge for
Yep.
that ankle monitoring program, so on and so forth. And when basically what happened was Sabrina didn't have the money to cover the cost of it, so he said, "Well, you know what you can do, and we'll cover that and take care of you. You just come see me for this or that, whatever, so on and so forth, and we're good to go. No worries." And this was not just her that this happened to.
No,
Okay,
it was common knowledge. Same as
right?
with Kevin Mullins,
Yes, yes. So
just different jobs.
that's what this is all about, you guys. That's where
Correct.
this started off at. This is when
Yes.
the dominoes started to fall.
Yes.
And then Miss Taya here was very heavily involved in this, unfortunately. And like I said, was the first person to step forward and say, "You know what? I'm done."
I wasn't the first. There
Well,
had
I
been
mean,
many others that tried
Been
to before me
trying.
that had the retaliation was so severe. They had to leave family homes that they owned here, that they had for generations, pack up and leave and move to a new state. My parole office asked me if I wanted to move the other day. Said, "You
Yeah.
ever thought about just leaving? I hate to run you out of your home, but
and that's the thing, though, is you
like, you know
guys all
what? I
have
did
your
think about
roots.
it, and I have tried. But after trying for so many years, I'm to the point now. I'm like, you know what? No, fuck you. You're going to look at me every day.
There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah, and
You're
your
going to
roots
look
are
at me
here.
every fucking day of your lives. You have to see me and know that I'm here and how you failed.
Yes, yes,
Every
and
one of us, as a society, as a
that's
community.
amazing.
Yep.
You know,
You
like,
shouldn't
no, I
have
ain't
to
going
leave.
nowhere. Kiss my
No,
butt.
because and that's the sad part. This is a beautiful country, folks. Very beautiful down in that area, and anybody that lives down there, to live there, other than the with stuff we're talking about, it's a wonderful life to be able to live that way. But this is what makes it
Fair
horrible,
male.
miserable, and
Yes.
disgusting. So
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful
Yeah.
region. And
yeah,
the culture here is so rich and amazing. And I
yes,
love the people.
Could be magical.
I
Yeah.
love the people. It's truly magical.
absolutely,
The people are magical. The
yes,
magic is in the people.
Yep.
You know, it's in these women. That's where it's at.
Yeah. Oh,
So
100%. 100%.
yeah,
absolutely. So
yeah. Like I ain't
what
leaving. No,
what
these are my
was
mountains.
what was your final straw, and or that broke the camel's back, that said, "You know what? I'm done. I'm going to start talking."
Whenever It all started after like the shooting and everything happened.
Yeah.
The more I was thinking about it, and I follow all these other girls, it's not like we haven't sat down and talked about things like,
Of
in
course.
the past and lived through these things together. Like
Yes.
we were all aware of what's been happening to us.
Yeah.
I have been trying to support them a little bit. I just wasn't there in myself. But then whenever the shooting popped off, I just thought, oh my God, they're not going to be able to cover it up anymore.
Nope.
The
They
entire
can't ignore this.
fucking world is going to be looking now.
Yep.
We have
I
an
know.
opportunity to take this system down.
Yep.
And make a better world and a better future
Yep.
for our kids. I don't want my
Absolutely.
kids to be tortured the way they tortured me.
Bingo.
And your parents before you.
And my parents. Yeah. My poor mama. No. I have the opportunity to change that. So why wouldn't I?
Exactly. Break the cycle.
Break the
And-
cycles.
I was
Yeah.
talking to
Break
Jill
the
the other
cycles.
night.
Break the curse. Break the
You
spell.
know,
y'all. Snap out of it and realize that these kids matter. I was not a 12-year-old prostitute or a 16-year-old prostitute. There is no
Right.
such thing. There is no such thing. I was a child. I was a child.
So
And
That's
then
right.
all this popped off. They did that big smear piece, and the local newspapers have tried
Yeah.
to. It backfired big time. It just brought my kids back closer to me and everything.
Of course.
But they tried. And the funny thing is they had got somebody that was that had been convicted of sexual abuse in the jail to speak against me for one thing. And then whenever I defended myself online about it, they confessed to a lot of shit that happened in
Wow.
jail. That they said that they jumped me. There was three girls that jumped me and beat the brakes off of me in jail. I didn't know why at the time. I had no fucking clue until just the other day, whenever this newspaper hit, and they all stumbling all over themselves, and the threats started rolling in. And I got that. We played it on the show and stuff. The voice messages of how they're going to kick my door in and beat my ass again, and they're glad that he raped me when I was 12, and all this other fucking nasty shit. It was because of that rape that happened when I was 12 years old. It was her husband. One of the women that beat me up was married to the man that raped me when I was 12.
Yep.
So she beat me in jail years later because of that. So then she gets in the comments and she's like, why are you doing this? Well, this little girl right here in the neighboring county just got killed tragically. There's a man who worked at her school being charged with her murder and has been grooming her and dating her since she was 13 years old because it's still happening daily. If you ain't following the Brett Johnson show yet,
oh yeah.
get caught up on that. Get caught up on that because it illustrates to a T exactly the kinds of things that was happening to me whenever
What
I
is
was
it?
12, 13, 14, 15, and 16-year-old.
What is it called again, Taya?
The Brett Johnson show.
Brett Johnson.
Mhm.
Yes.
Got you.
Dago, I was talking
He's good stuff.
I was talking to Brandy the other night, and it occurred to me. I said to her, Brandy, can you answer me a question? And she said, yeah, of course. And I said, can you name one woman in your entire life that hasn't been raped? And
I
she said,
cannot.
you know what? I can't. And I said,
cannot.
and you tell me
Oh
your
my
next
God.
question would be not how many times, but well, which time, which person,
Which time and which person,
Yes.
which predator.
every
Because it's not a one-time thing.
no,
It's almost like you're marked. Once it happens the first time, like they just
It-
fucking like you emit this fucking
Yeah.
light or something that predators hone in on,
Right.
and
Right.
they take advantage of it.
And here's the thing, folks. I'm going to point a couple other things out to you that I know my own self that Lee knows and stuff that he had found out that we've all been digging into, looking into. Like, they don't only go after, like, Taya, for instance.
Nope.
They will go after her children. They will go
Yep.
after your husband, your spouses, and lock them up. They will do
Yep.
anything
Yes.
they can do to
Awesome.
get
Okay,
to
that's
you.
awesome.
To get your compliance. Yeah.
Yeah,
Tyre, 2 ex-husbands of Tyre's have died mysteriously.
died.
Mysteriously in the
That's
last.
the other thing.
Yeah. One
That's
was
the
in
other thing.
prison. One was
Yep.
deprived of his vital heart medication that kept him alive for a week. And they laid there, they sat there and let him scream. The other inmates on the walk heard him scream, begging for his medication for a week.
And
And he
and
died
again-
the day before he was supposed to be released to come home
Yep.
to my daughter.
And multiple people, folks, not just like situations like that.
Yeah, like my case is just one of
Lee
Anyone,
Lee
who's a
told you
threat
guys
to
this.
exposing that corruption, anyone who's a threat will.
Yeah,
will be.
and Lee told you the story of the one woman. I'm not 100% sure what she was going to do, whether it was testify or not, but she was run over by a car, and then she was taken out in the woods and eaten by dogs, folks.
Trina Sanderson.
Okay.
Yeah,
Trina
I
yeah,
don't know if she was supposed to testify or anything like that. I'm not sure about that. But yeah, her biceps were cut.
yeah, they cut her
They
on both
cut her
sides,
biceps so that the
let her
dogs would be
bleed,
attracted to her
and
body. But
and
they
then they
ruled it a dog attack,
the
Yeah.
dogs were starved
an
to death, mind
accident.
you. Yeah, yeah, it
That's
was
the
an
next
accident.
case I'm
Didn't
covering on.
mention the part where a human being cut her arms open to draw in
Yeah.
the
Right,
dogs.
right.
She
And
was
this is
Ty's
what
neighbour.
And that's my neighbor. That
that's
was
what
my
I'm
neighbor.
saying. That's insane, you guys. Think about what we're hearing, okay?
Yep.
What this is not the only person that
This is
there's
one
so many.
of
Yeah, like
hundreds.
it got to the point, like with all the deaths and stuff over the last few years. And Jennifer was one. Then we also had Lexi, who mysteriously died in their custody. They say that she died at the hazard psych ward, that she killed herself, hung
24
herself.
hours psych ward.
Autopsy report speaks very differently. And then there's been multiple other reports saying that that's not what happened at all.
Nope.
So that's still a big mystery I'm trying to solve, because Lexi was my best friend. Like, she was my little girl,
Let me ask
my
you.
little
Let me ask
sister.
you then, Taya. Just to
And what
bring this.
happened to her was not right.
Of course not. No, it's
I've lost sound
disgusting
again,
and
y'all.
it's scary. If you need to go out and go back in, you
Let
can.
me.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is real, folks. This is not
Uh,
like made for TV movie shit. This is real shit, day after day. And
So
I want my next question to her, truly, when she comes back. Okay, there. Can you hear me
I don't
now?
know why it does that.
That's
It's
okay.
like
Don't
every
worry
time
about
I
it.
start talking about something deep, it goes.
Yeah. Yep. Well, maybe you never know. But let me ask you this next question.
But yeah, like it was death after death after death.
How many do you think?
And
How many people do you think have died, Taya?
I have to sit back as a mom and look at my children and be like, okay, they just killed both their dads,
Yes.
Yep.
2 of their cousins. If I don't speak up, they're going to kill us anyway.
had 4 girls taken off her. 4.
Yeah, they took all 4 of my children systematically.
And you still don't have them. Weren't able to get them back, right?
Not yet. My oldest is 22. She's very much still a part of my life. We have a really good relationship. And the newspaper article brought my second back. So
Yeah.
that was good.
Good.
She's seen it. And
Yeah.
the part that they printed that said, I just want my kids and my freedom. Like, that's all I'm asking for. I'm not in this for money. I'm not in a civil suit. I want my
So they've
children
even gone as far as to try to
returned
make
to my
try to
home. And
yeah,
I
and
want
they've
freedom from this system. That's
they've
what I
even
want.
gone as far as to try to make your children look down on you by the things they've said
Yes,
and done. Yeah.
very much so. Very much so.
So
The
how many
understanding-
people would you think, Taya, in the period of time that you've been knowing about everything going on, how many people do you think have lost their lives?
Oh,
Oh my God. I've got a list of missing, murdered, suspicious deaths, and it's up to about 80 people. About 40 women and 40 men is about where we're at right now. And that's just within the Letcher County bounds.
80 people, you
That's
guys.
not counting. That's not counting Pike County, Knott County, Perry
Perry
County, or all of
County.
our little surrounding areas, because our
Boy.
borders kind of blur together. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, if you live next to a county, you do things in all the counties. It's like regional. So
Right.
that's not even counting the entire region. And you can argue, well, Letcher County is responsible for Letcher County, Pike County responsible for Pike County, but it's all the
goes-
same system.
Yeah. That,
And
I was
they
gonna
work
tell you
together.
guys
And
that
if you
too.
think they ain't attending these cocaine parties together
Yeah.
over here in Floyd County or something, while they're deciding how they're going to fuck your life over, you're sadly mistaken.
No, I was gonna say that this goes beyond Letcher County, you guys.
Yes.
It
I think this is
encompasses the entire state, probably. So
Yeah, I think this is a nationwide problem, really, that it's just
Definitely.
not been brought to the light yet.
well,
You know,
and here's
We're
the
on the
thing.
right track.
Here's the
You know,
thing.
the-
You're
the reason
in
I
a
think
very
that-
small community.
Very
which in
isolated.
turn, I live in a small community in a rural area, and more happens here that's hidden than it does in big cities because
Mhm.
there's not too many people to be looking at it. They don't care. They don't want to
Right.
look down at Letcher County or Whitesburg, Kentucky, because why? What's so
Yeah.
special about them? That's why these things happen in these areas, in
Exactly.
my opinion. So,
Yes.
that being said, guys, it's unbelievable. So she just said 80 people that are unexplained, missing, or murdered.
But now
Um,
they have flooded their area too with sex offenders from other states and other regions too. If you
And
go and look at our sex offender registries, it'll blow your mind. There's 15 within a mile and a half of where I live, and
wow.
many
yeah,
of those aren't even people who are from here. They're like
Mm.
transplants that
yeah.
somebody is telling them, go stay here. You want to be a predator? Go stay here.
So
That's what it feels like
Oh my God.
when
what's
you look
happened?
at the data.
Yeah.
It's scary, man.
That is
What's
insane.
happened,
And I'm
Davo?
sorry. I'm sorry. Lee and I have talked about that many, many times. Like we've talked about the whole situation from Devil's Advocates, and we both sit here and say, we want to do something. And there's nothing other than what we're doing right now, for the most
Yeah,
part, that we
right. Like
can
what
do.
else can you do? Talk
Well,
Right.
about it.
I've found a way.
Talk about it. Shine God's
Found a
light
way.
on it,
Right.
and wait for God's plan and hit timing to unfold. Is all I know to do at this point.
Right. And
Um,
Try to ground and keep my
that's,
life together.
yes. And being that
Not
you're doing
spiral.
this, I think this is helpful to her, guys. It is very dangerous. Understand what she does. Okay.
oh,
What
you
all
got
of
no
them
idea.
do. It's beyond dangerous. And this helps, and I think, in a sense, because now that they know that the world's eyes are on them, they're gonna be a little less. But honestly, Taya, how many, since you came forth on this, how many threats have you had? How many situations have you had that have happened to you?
They almost killed me a couple times.
Yeah.
They about got me with fentanyl once.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
there's been a lot of threats. I was told that I was going to be fall off of my front porch and break my neck, and that they would blame it on my husband. I was told that to go. I mean, well, and Sarah, what they tried to isolate Sarah to a closed down state police post without a lawyer or a parent. Wanted her to come alone, and the place was completely under construction and not even open. Whenever she drove by there the next day,
Oh, wow.
bulldozers and rock piles piled up outside.
Which is, she probably would have been buried under one of,
Which
yes.
she probably would have been buried under one of.
And
Exactly.
remember something, you guys. I
So,
told you, yeah. What happened to
and you got to
Mickey
remember, we
himself
know what happened to Jen. Like that's not even a question in my
and your
mind.
neighbor
And I
and
know
your
that
neighbor?
whatever happened to Lexi was, I know that in my soul. I don't have any proof for it yet, but I know it in my soul, and the proof will come out. I'm sure it
We'll
will.
get there. We'll get
Yeah,
there.
we'll
One
get
of
there.
And we all know what happened with Mickey. Okay, days or
Oh,
so before this all
do
happened
we?
with
there you go.
him,
Where's the blood, man?
I
Yeah.
we all have
I'm
asked the
so
same
serious. Like
question.
the more I look at that, the worse it
Yep.
just keeps sticking. It's like
Well,
oh my
not
god,
only that, Taya.
something is not right there.
Where's the muzzle fire from the gun?
Yep.
Yes, yes. Where's the audio from the freaking recording? That
And
would be
that's what
helpful.
we've been told. There's audio that they
There
purposely
is.
took it out,
There is
but
audio.
I heard there was, but I've never heard it or been able to track it down yet. So
yeah,
No,
and
I'm
he's
we've
on the
asked.
hunt for that for sure.
We've definitely questioned one who is part of Devil's Advocates. He's an NYPD police
Yeah,
officer himself, and
I
I'm
love that
being
show.
first responder. Said, you know, Mickey was standing no more than 3 feet, maybe 3.5 feet away from Kevin when he shot him. There
With
was
a
no
nice
blood.
white
There was
wall.
There would have
no
been
blood spatter.
like you said, there should have been like a flash, like a
Yes,
powder,
Yeah.
and you
yes.
should have been able to see much more.
And
And
Kevin was wearing a
Davo.
white shirt. Yeah, Kevin was wearing a white
There were,
shirt,
that was a
and there
white
was
quilt behind him.
white tapestry on the wall behind him, and there was
You ever
not one.
walked in and seen a suicide where somebody shoots
Yeah.
herself? Like
Yeah.
Yeah, I
9
have
bullets.
the
most
9
fucking
bullets.
definitely.
blood goes to the ceilings all around and everywhere.
I've been on
9
Where is
scenes.
bullets.
it?
I've been on scenes where people have
Yeah.
been shot from 6 to 8 feet away, and there's spatter
Yeah.
everywhere, and there was
Everywhere.
nothing, nothing.
9
No,
No.
bullets.
but
9.
I am. I've got my
what
own
I was,
ideas. I don't want to like speculate and put crazy
I
ideas out there
understand.
because I know that they sound crazy. I know they sound crazy,
Yeah,
I
no.
get it. I
but
get it.
but something's off here.
You go watch that
I'm not.
video.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into that, but I do.
Yeah,
I feel where you're at with that. I get it. Okay.
yeah.
There you go.
What I was going to tell you guys though was with Mickey. Okay, a day or I don't know the exact timeline for this, but Mickey used to do like a Meals on Wheels type thing where they would deliver food to people. Okay,
I'm
stuff
so
like that.
glad you're bringing this one up. Yep.
This is a big deal to me because it shows how deep this can be. So he went out there with, I do believe it was Michael. What's the preacher's
Clark,
name?
preacher
Michael
man
Clark.
Michael Clark,
Okay, which
part
he's
of
not.
ARC, and one of the ones that would hold rehab beds, offer rehab beds and stuff to girls
Yeah, he's
for
not
sex
very,
and
not
Yeah,
too clean
all the
himself for a
things.
preacher, right?
Yeah.
So
I
he
got a
went.
lovely video of him for
Yeah.
his baby.
Another aspect of their system that they had worked out and perfected so greatly. It wasn't just Ben getting them out of the jail, Kevin picking them off the streets. You got Michael Clark picking them out trying to get into rehab. And it's
Yep.
all one big system that uses the
Yep.
same funding to operate and that makes their profits together
Yep.
as a unit.
Yeah, and that. So there's that. So that. Listen to this real quick, you guys. It was Mickey, Michael Clark, and I can't remember who the other person was, but they were delivering food as they did all the time. And for some reason, they went in a different direction, went into a different area, out to what I would guess to be a secluded area. And what my understanding is, truly and honestly, was that they were going to try to take Mickey out. Okay,
Yeah.
they were going to end his life, and
Yep.
I don't know if Michael Clark was the reason why it didn't happen or
Do you
whatnot.
remember?
No.
Do you remember them saying that they wanted him to get out of the truck and get in a side by side and go up on the mountain? You
Yeah.
remember that?
That's what I heard. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They were going to take him
Well,
up out and away from.
They were trying to take him
Yeah.
up a
Yes,
strip job or something.
It was
and
a
he
delivery for
questioned
a
it, as
regular
you all
customer.
saw.
But those 2 meals is what gets me. I keep getting hung up on that too. Why 2? Why 2?
Yeah, it was a regular customer who
Usually
had
you got
the meal delivered
40,
before.
60, 200 meals to deliver. Why 2 on this day?
Just 2 that day, right?
Just 2 this day.
That
So
was
then you go back and you look at some of the first things that Mickey said after the fact. They have my wife and children.
yeah,
They took my wife
Yep.
and children, or
yeah,
they took my wife and daughter. They've
yeah.
got my wife and daughter. I can't remember exactly verbatim.
It was in
We'll have to
that
look it up,
realm.
but it's in
Yeah,
there. Yeah, it was within that realm. And then nobody ever comments about that or questions it or like what. Nobody's even going to check on the wife and the daughter.
yeah. That's
You know what I mean? They automatically jump to assuming Kevin was screwing the daughter, which
Yes.
she has come forward and said, no, that's not the case.
right.
But this is deeper than that. This is bigger than
Oh
that.
yeah.
This is bigger than a sexual assault, y'all.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
There's
Yeah.
so
Way,
much more going on that y'all
way bigger,
probably can't even comprehend yet.
way bigger.
Yeah.
Well,
And
so
Jody
they were.
uncovered a big piece of that the other night. I think that
Mhm.
those millions in funding
Yeah,
Oh,
and a
yeah.
picture's worth 1,000 words. Did you show him that picture, Jody, that you found on the website? But
no,
the
I
2
don't.
meals, like that's what I keep coming back to is why 2? Who were they for?
It was a regular customer type.
And
It
who
was
was on the side by side wanting to drive Mickey up on the mountain?
Who else was up there waiting for him
Who else
too?
was up there? Right.
Thank you. And
so
listen,
the
the
name
reason
Did
why
they take him to see that they had his wife and daughter? You're going to go
maybe,
do this, or
maybe
we're going to hurt them?
his lawyer has made a statement.
That's my
and said
theory.
that
very
I have
plausible.
nothing to back that up other than like the facts before us. But
And
that's my personal theory. And
I don't think you need anything to back it up, Taya, because of everything else we already know.
his lawyer has actually made a statement about it and
Uh,
identified that he had and he was lured out. So it was a regular customer that had normally made orders, but it was at a new address that
Yeah.
was further out than usual.
Mhm.
And he believed that he was in fear for his life. That was a statement from Mickey's own attorney. And
Yeah.
so, but
And
the
I,
thing is, Michael Clark was the last person in that car with Mickey, so he would have witnessed that. He would have
Yeah.
heard Mickey, whinge and bitch and moan all the way back to the courthouse. So when they get back, they come into that room and Mickey kicks everybody out. But does Michael Clark warn anyone? Does he say anything? Hey, Mickey, like, can I have your gun or
Right.
take it easy? No.
or
And
did he
then
go
you
get anybody at the sheriff's office
No.
and say, "Hey, Mickey's acting
Right.
funny"?
no.
No, he didn't do none of those things. So it's
So
funny
that,
to me that Kevin's wife sued the sheriff's office for not informing Mickey or not informing Kevin that something was off with Mickey. That tells me that maybe they were supposed to be watching out
yeah,
for stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah, that's a good
You
point.
know what I mean?
Yes,
Yep.
absolutely. And so that'll happen the same day that this all went down, you guys. I had that confused. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I always mix up my thoughts when there's a lot going on, but my apologies. So, that all happened in the same day, which will tell you Mickey was done. You're not going to threaten me like this. This is probably why this went down the way it did. And it's
Mhm.
pretty sickening to me to watch the video.
No
when you
wonder he
watch-
lost his mind. You know?
Exactly. I would have too.
Yeah.
I don't think
Anybody
you watch-
would
yeah,
that
you
loved his
watch-
family.
He did not have a
Bingo.
psychotic episode. I'm
He did
sorry.
not what?
He didn't have a psychotic episode.
I don't think he did either. I think he was
No.
just done. You know what I
No,
mean?
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think it was a psychotic episode. I think he was just fed the fuck up. Like, no,
Yeah.
y'all got my wife and kid. Fuck you. No, let's do this different.
And
No,
that's
you know
Do it
what
our way
happened?
or my way.
He,
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what he was thinking. Who? God, I would love to know. I would give about anything to be able to sit down with him for a couple of hours and
yeah,
ask
me
him
too.
questions. I
Me
have got
too.
so many questions.
And if you
he
guys
was in.
remember when I showed you the video of Mickey in the hallway right before they
Yep.
transported him over to Pike County, okay? Remember the paranoia that man had. That wasn't
Yes.
paranoia, that was fear because
That
he
was
knew
fear.
what they were gonna do to him
Valid.
hours before that, okay?
Those people
That
standing
was
around
valid
him.
fear.
That people he was that was standing around him were the people that he had worked with and had been turning the blind eye to for however many years,
Yeah.
and he was now in their
And he
possession.
knew
In their
he
clutches.
knew
Yeah, at their mercy.
he knew they were gonna take him out
He
is what
knew
it
what
was,
they were
in my
capable
opinion.
of. Yeah.
Correct.
And you notice, guys, Jody, you gave his real name, but his name was listed as Brandon something. What's his real name that he goes by? Randy?
Oh, Randy. Yes.
Randy
Ra-
was not when that man
Randy
stood over
Jones.
top of Mickey. Mickey was like a child
Yes.
under him.
Yes.
He knew.
Randy
He
Jones.
knew.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%. The man even looked in the back of the cruiser because he didn't want to go down the stairs. He didn't want to go through the door to the Sally port. None of that. And
Yep.
that's real fear because he knows what they do. Okay,
Yep.
it
And
almost
if you
happened
watch
to him hours before. So there you
just
go.
after that shooting
Yeah.
happened, if you watch the video a little bit further, it's even more telling because the court security guard comes through the chambers
Oh
and
yeah,
he's got his gun drawn
and he
and
puts it
he
away.
walks past the desk. He glances to his left, just a little glance to the left behind the desk where allegedly a judge has just had 9 lead bullets pumped into him, and
Right.
he keeps walking and he holsters his gun in an active shooting.
Yes.
What the
Yes.
fuck? Really?
I still
Holsters his gun, doesn't check a pulse,
Nope.
and turns his back to the open door.
and
Not
you know
even
Does
what?
that look normal?
No, and I'm gonna tell you something else about that's off to me that I noticed too. When I watched that original video, I went back through. I've analyzed that video a million times because of
Yep.
the things we called out: the no blood, the no gunfire, any of that.
Yep.
Okay, I swear to you, and it could just be that it was a grimace, but I swear to you, when Kevin comes back up from underneath the desk, he almost had a grin on his face. Okay, and it just made the hair stand up on my arms. I'm telling you, because
And
something is wrong with that entire situation. Now,
you tell me
You're-
a sheriff who
Yep.
has been trained in the use of firearms, it takes 9 bullets to do the job
no, it
at
didn't.
nearly point blank range. Really?
And not one bit of gunfire comes out of that barrel. Not one bit. I have a gun right next to me, you guys. Okay, that I keep here. Like I told you, I'm
Right.
always okay. I shoot guns all the time. There's gonna be muzzle fire. Period. Okay.
Yep.
There's gonna be muzzle fire. There was none. There was no blood spatter. I don't know what's going on. I'm not gonna delve into that right now, but something is wrong all the way
That's
around.
right. I believe there was no audio there because I think you can tell the difference in the fire sound of a blank to a
Yeah.
an
Yes, you
bullet.
can.
Yeah.
And of course,
Yeah.
they didn't want us to hear that
Very
conversation
likely
either.
that
It was a very odd interaction. There was
Yeah.
no real look of fear with
No,
Mullins either.
no.
And when he tried to stand up, Mickey said, "Sit down." The whole thing is just
Yeah.
weird. I'll just say that. Okay.
Yeah.
I think there is muzzle flash with blanks as well, but there's a different sound that it gives off when you fire an actual round of ammunition as compared to blanks.
You can
I
see
think.
some of the papers on the desk that they do fluff a bit with a couple
Yeah.
of the shots, but
Yeah.
that's it.
It's weird. I'll just say it's truly and honestly, it's weird. So
Yeah.
it's
being
very
that,
weird. Yeah.
yeah. Now, being that you came forward and started telling your story, Taya, and I know Brandy has, of course, Sabrina did what she did, and now she's in a different situation now. What has anybody else come forth, or are they trying to come forth to go along with you guys on this?
I mean,
Oh,
yeah, we have got, there's been a couple other
okay.
people who have interviewed.
Yeah.
Some who have talked about not themselves, but their mother, who has passed on now, and she actually died because of the jail's neglect. Her name
Yeah.
is Jamie Rayburn. She did a spot
Mm.
with Brian Enton.
Bentley.
And then you've
Oh,
got Gemma Bentley, who worked with Kevin and experienced sexual harassment and stuff there. There's been multiple others. And if you get over on TikTok, put in the
Oh,
hashtag Lecher County corruption, you'll find the other girls.
Gotcha.
They just have
Okay.
to be more careful. They're not just not as adamant about pushing it publicly anymore. They put it out there, but
Because of the
they just
threats.
put it
Yeah.
out there because the circumstances and the danger are involved in it. So if anybody wants to go and look, you can look. They've been
Yeah.
open about it.
I'll
Many
pull
of
it
them
up
have.
at some point. Right.
Yeah,
Um,
many of them have. They
how
face
many times?
retaliation, 20, 30-year sentences for some of them. I
And
mean,
we still have a judge, mind you, in Leicester County that's still actively working on the bench that's fully involved in this as well. You guys understand that too.
the entire courthouse is involved. The entire courthouse, every one of them,
Wow. See, and
every
it
single
it
one.
just keeps happening. And I even have because I know that there are what you call like little substations and little offices like the FBI, different organizations and stuff that are all surrounded these areas. And I've always wondered they have to know about these things too, and very possibly could be involved as well because of the height that this goes to, in my opinion. Okay.
Oh, I don't know about the FBI involvement,
Well,
but
I'm just
definitely,
saying if
yeah,
if they know about it and
yeah,
it's not
they
being
have to be
shut
aware.
down, there's a problem there. That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying. They have to know about it. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
So
So,
I'll just say
the
that.
what's how this has occurred is basically it stems back to the coal mining industry. So there was a number of families that actually became extremely wealthy from that coal mining era, and then
Right.
when they lost that income when it shut down, they didn't have any other option. So they've had to look at different ways to maintain that level of income. And
Yeah.
so every head basically has a dollar sign on it. So every head that they can cycle through the justice system or the rehabs or whatever they concoct, the court system, CPS, everything is all tied in together because it's all tied to this Title IV funding. And that's the pool. So you've got the great divide between the citizens and the wealthy families that own the properties, that own the gas stations, they own everything. So they've got the monopoly, they've got the power. And everyone in a power position holds that
it's my
position
husband called.
and then allocates it to another one in the family to keep and hold that power structure. Now, what's happened is because they've the law enforcement have been paid, they're corrupt, they turn a blind eye. So that has then allowed a situation to develop where there is no repercussions for any domestic violence, there is no repercussions for any sexual assaults. So it's been a breeding ground for these predators, and they are prolific everywhere, everywhere. And there is no incentive for the police to do anything about it because if they go to jail, they get more money. If they go to rehab, they get more money. There is no incentive for them to actually rehabilitate them back into society at all.
Right.
They are
And here's
set up to
here's
fail.
here's the thing too. Like when Ben Fields was oh, she must have fell off again. There she is.
Sorry, I don't know
Well,
what
it's okay.
happened.
It's not your fault. Don't apologize. So when Ben Fields was convicted of the crime that he committed, okay? And
Yep.
that's where a lot of this started to unfold at. They literally, from my understanding, they moved prisoners out of the cell. They put him in a cell that was closer to everything else. The man basically was in jail like he was living at home, okay?
Yep.
And he only did 6 months, you guys, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Um,
He
got
had
to see his wife every day and everything.
right.
a
And he
7-year
was
sentence. Yep.
at 7-year sentence, he did 6 months. Figure
Yep.
that one out. Tell me. And like I said, from my understanding, like jails have rules, okay? He was allowed to smoke. He had his own like cigarettes
He
and
had
stuff he could do, and he was out pretty
a
much
mattress,
yeah, he had a mattress. He was able to
yeah,
move about around
flat screen
things, and
TV. Yeah.
come on, you guys, this is a joke. It's
Ordering
basically they said,
pizza.
"Well, thanks for taking the fall for us. We'll take care of you." You know what I mean?
Yep. They're good old boys.
And that's the problem, folks. And we know that the good old boy mentality exists, but to this level, I never would have imagined that it's
Yeah.
this bad. Okay, and this is why we're doing this. This is why
Yep.
we're talking about it and exposing it, and repeatedly. I'm going to continue to
Yes.
do it as much as Lee's going to continue to do it until it's either shut down. But
Well,
this
that's how
again,
I think that we're going to get them because my initial thoughts were to educate. Well, I'm going to anyway. I'm going to educate
yeah,
the women of Lecher County just to know their rights and what
Yeah,
know,
we're going
shouldn't
to try to
happen. But
educate
They
as we
deserve
go.
more.
the,
Yes.
we're not going to be able to change 60 years
No.
of ingrained oppression, basically. So my thought is, you follow the money. So what we're going to do is, I've actually found the grant number that they use to apply for the federal funding. Now that's supplied by the Department of Justice and the Department of Corrections, obviously, through federal funding grants.
Sure.
You can actually go onto their website and you can submit an anonymous complaint and actually let them know that they're fraudulently claiming this Title IV funding, and it's being funneled. It doesn't go through the normal channels. It doesn't go through the fiscal courts. It goes straight from the medical centres straight into the jailer. And the jailer, who was Bert Sloan at the time, is now his brother, handed down because he's a good old boy. They have the control of where that money gets allocated within that jail.
Which is ridiculous. It should never be allocated to a man like that or a person in that stature to have that control. No.
Yep. So then that explains. So they've designed it. You've got the judges that are corrupt as well. They've now manipulated the laws to reflect their situation and to keep it nice and neat. And that's why you have the citizen rule in Kentucky. They've contained it. You can't get the documents outside of Kentucky. That's why it's kept the lid on it for so long.
Yeah, Lee has tried. Yeah, he's definitely tried. It's not. We're working on trying to get something done with that.
We have to cut off the money supply. That's the only way we can get to them.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, absolutely. And shut it down. And it's the only way you can and talk about it. Make sure everybody knows. We have people that come in here, when I was talking about this before, that live on the other side of the mountain, a couple different people and a couple people that live close to this area that have known about it for years.
Yep.
And they're like, we know this stuff is going on. What are we going to do? We can't do anything about it,
Right.
You know the ATV?
Yeah, it's not even a question of whether it's happening or not. Like, everybody knows it fucking happens. It's just a question of what can we do now?
Exactly.
You know the ATV accident that just happened in Perry County with the young girl, Emma Lynn, that was killed, the 16-year-old?
That's what I was referring to earlier when I was like, this is the same
story,
thing that
Lee?
happened to me back then. Like,
Have you heard
when
that
none of
story?
the adults could take accountability.
Are you aware of that
Wow.
story, Dago?
I've heard a little bit about it.
So the boy that was involved, his father is a good old boy. So that's why the other child that was there, that was fed the alcohol and the drugs, was charged with.
Okay, wait though.
DUI.
That baby's toxicology came back, and she had not imbibed,
No, nope.
so she did not take the
Not
drugs and
have
stuff.
any drugs or
So
alcohol in the system.
thank goodness for that.
So it was the show that we were talking about before, the Brett Johnson show. He's he's actually a retired cybercrime criminal. Like he's been on the world's most wanted for cybercrime and stuff. He was part of the Shadow. I can't remember the name of it, but if you Google him, you'll find it. And he's done federal time for his federal crimes, and then the CIA actually employed him to chase cyber criminals. So that's what he does now. But he's also exposing the corruption in Perry County, and the main boy, the one that provided the alcohol and marijuana to the girl that died, his father is the good old boy. And so it's come out that this Noah Back actually had been grooming this girl since she was 14. And
13, wasn't it?
Oh, possibly, yes. And he was a known sex offender as well. And he wasn't charged at all because of his father's influence. But because Brett exposed it, and he was ringing the attorney, he was ringing the courthouse, he was ringing everybody on his show. And so they arrested him on Saturday and charged him with murder.
Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I mean, I guess every little bit helps. It
goes everywhere. It's everywhere.
Angie B was asking if you guys, how far is this area from the Tennessee border? Do you guys know that?
Lecher County from Tennessee.
Yeah. Taya, do you know how far you guys are from the Tennessee border?
It's about an hour and a half, isn't it?
Oh, she's muted.
Yeah, it's about an hour and a half because Sarah lives in Tennessee.
Got you. So, part of that other one story that we were told too, and I don't know if this is true or not, but the woman I was telling you that Taya said was her neighbor that was run over by a
Trina
vehicle, and
Sandlin.
then that what's her name again? Trina
Trina Sandlin.
Trina Sandlin.
Sandlin. Thank you. Okay, so um, there was
She's
a
my next
story that I
case.
had heard after that when that happened to her. I guess there was a little boy that saw something happen, and he
Mm.
ended up deceased. Is this true?
There is
I
an 11-year-old boy
had
that
not.
drowned around the same time. Was there someone that age then?
There was another boy that was attacked by dogs around the same time too. He was real little, and that was kind of what they used to say. See, yeah, it was the dogs.
Uh,
Oh
you
my
know, I
But
god.
don't
now
think.
I don't know about. I hadn't heard that yet.
Okay, that was
But
something Lee had.
we are in touch with her mother and her ex-husband and everyone involved. Like, there's been a couple witnesses, I think, that did come forward, give their testimony and things, and they're willing to do so again if
Good.
We're
necessary.
asking them to come on and tell the story as well. So we're just trying to
Yeah.
tie down the time. But yeah,
So
Yeah.
I have a question for you both now. At this point, I have a question. We all know what happened with Sabrina, that she was going to go to court, this and that, and things changed. And do
yeah.
you guys think now that she has taken what she's taken, that she'll be left alone, or do you think that it's just going to
No,
continue?
no.
No,
I've heard from
listen,
this
they told her that, and this is another way that they threatened. They told her, yeah, you'll get your lawsuit money, but you'll never be able to spend it.
That's what I
So no,
thought
it's not
too.
over for her. It's not over
Taya,
for her.
I got a text from Sabrina 15 minutes ago.
Did
They've
you?
cut off her. Yeah, they've cut off her social security.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah,
Because of
Yeah.
the settlement.
because
Yeah.
of the settlement. Yeah, I'm sure.
But
They've
apparently,
already been
settlement,
like cutting Brandy's back and everything. They took my food
but
stamps like
settlement
4
from
times
sexual
last
assaults,
year. They
settlements
just,
from sexual assaults are not supposed to be included as part of the income.
No, settlement has nothing to do with
right.
no, nothing at
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
Wow, that's insane, you guys. See,
Yep.
anything they
That's
can
how
do.
high it goes.
Never ends. Yeah. Anything they can do to make things a little bit harder.
Yep.
That is
And
so
you know,
sad.
one of their biggest income spinners is from adoption, and they're taking children away, and they are incentivized. They have an actual like reward system on how many children that they can allocate to adoption, and they get a huge, like 66% of their income is federal grants for doing this.
Wow.
It's child trafficking.
So
Yeah,
between the two,
it's state sanctioned
Yep.
child trafficking is what it is.
wow, unbelievable. Well, if I can ask this too, between the two of you, do you know of anything recent that is going on or has happened or anything new? Um, information wise to put out there to add to this, anything, everything, the whole thing's horrible. So, but anything new or upsetting or it's all upsetting. I can't even think of the way I'm trying to say this. Just any
Yeah.
kind of
Yep.
new information or any new news that needs to be put out there goes along with any of this.
I think the Mickey's case is on at a bit of a stalemate at the moment because they were
Yeah.
waiting for the judge who didn't recuse himself.
Yes.
But there's also a motion by the prosecution to a change of venue, which has not been decided. I
Right.
think it's at a stalemate at the moment, so there's not much going on. But there is, I mean, there's a lot of shit going on in the background, obviously.
Of course.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
So
I'm kind of, I don't know, like everything that Jody had uncovered about all this funding and stuff. It's
yeah.
a lot for
Yeah,
me to
that's
come
true.
over. I'm not good with numbers and things, but like I am good enough to see that whenever you jump from getting $1 million
the
to
jail
$6
Yeah.
budget,
million or however much it was, like overnight, like from one year to the next,
Yeah.
just
went
because
from
they
one,
started offering all these new things and stuff, it's starting to make some pieces fit together.
Sure.
The bigger
Sure.
picture, like we kept saying, it was so much bigger, it's so much bigger.
Yeah.
But
but we
I
couldn't
don't
figure out
think
how
that
they were doing it.
I can even grasp yet how much
Yeah.
bigger it really is. I'm still processing,
Yeah.
So
Of
Sabrina's
course.
children have been threatened as well. I
Yep.
see that
They have
comment.
been.
Sabrina's children
Thank
has
you.
been threatened. Yeah. Their homes have
And
been threatened. They've been threatened to be burned out.
Unbelievable.
And
That's
the other
sad.
thing with Sabrina's case is, okay, they hid Ben's trial
Oh,
from everyone, No one knew it happened until after he'd done
I
the time.
seen you posted something this morning, Jody. I opened it up and it was a clip. Sabrina shared it on Facebook. Can you share that
About,
clip
oh, you
right
sent it
now?
to me.
That's new. That was new to me. I've never seen that.
I haven't seen it yet, Dylan.
You made it. You made it.
What?
Yes, it's on the defense list. Hang on a minute. Let me find it and I'll find it and put it in the link. Just ignore me till I figure out what I'm talking about.
So, yeah, Ben's trial and sentencing and jail time, nobody knew until after he was out of jail. And I can't get anything on his criminal case, but he took a plea deal, okay? And I know I was talking to Sabrina prior to the trial and the lead up through it, and she was hugely pressured. Like all night, they were on the phone to her, pushing for her to take this deal. And that's another way they shut them up. They just get them to take a deal, and then all of the dirty laundry goes away. They don't have to expose it to a jury.
Right.
And that's how they cover it.
All right, I shared the link. It's your video, Jody. I've never seen it before.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
And it's Ben in the courtroom and the judge talking to him, I think, ain't it? Play it if you don't
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah, I'll
Can
pull
you
it
play
up
it? Can
right
you pull
now.
that up?
Absolutely.
Because my mind exploded this morning whenever I seen this. I don't think you realize how significant it is once you see
I'm
what
not
it is.
done in my sleep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 1 second. I'm setting it up right now. Thank you guys all again for joining us here today.
Sorry.
And of course, Taya, it's an absolute honor to have you here.
Thank
And
you for
again,
having me.
oh, absolutely. The courage
Yeah.
and just I can't even imagine it. So I'm grateful that you're here with us today.
Hell, I don't know if you call it courage or fear, for real.
Or
You know,
both.
Yeah.
like I
Both.
think that they
Yeah,
scared
both.
me bad enough by picking off my baby's dads that they
Yeah.
might and their cousins that they might be coming for my kids next. You know, like I think
Right.
it's more out of fear than bravery, for
Well,
real.
I think the fear,
Like I want them to leave my children alone.
of
You know,
course. Yeah. I think the fear promotes bravery, as I'll say that.
yeah, that too.
That's
That does
important.
happen.
Right. All right, guys, let's check this out real quick.
I
Yeah,
hope it's
and
good.
yeah, I will agree that
It is good.
Jody's an amazing researcher and amazing at what she does to have gotten to be able to get involved in this too, guys. So remember that. Without a doubt. All right, guys, let's
Well,
check this out.
Ty's
Yes.
If you
family
guys,
now.
yeah,
The-
if you
Jody
guys
has
have
been
any,
amazing for all of us here. And
definitely,
Ty's family. That's all
yes,
there is.
absolutely.
100%.
That's my soul
Yeah.
sister in every
Yeah,
lifetime.
sister
Yep.
from another mister.
In
And
every lifetime.
I always say in the stuff that we do here, like that, the people that we meet while we're going down this road to do these things that we cover
Yep.
and talk about, it's amazing the relationships we make. And I'm grateful to have met Miss Jody. And of course, now you, Miss Taya, of course,
Yeah,
to
thank
be able to
Yes.
do what we do because we all become, we have to support each other in what we do to make sure.
Absolutely.
You know, that's been
Absolutely.
the greatest blessing of coming forward and going public is that
Mhm.
I was planted in a place that I don't belong in, you
Right.
know? So these are not my people.
Right.
Some of them
Right.
are, but most of them are not.
Some
So
of them
by
like
going
you.
public and speaking the truth and what's really going on, it has brought my soul tribe to me,
Yeah.
like in a way that I cannot even articulate. You know, like
Yeah.
it has brought so many blessings in the form of my people.
Yeah.
The thing
You
is,
know,
Absolutely.
people who care about justice and safety and a better
Yes.
future.
the
Yeah.
amount of suffering that
Yeah.
this woman has been
And
through,
change.
and she's focusing her energy on helping others.
Absolutely. And that's what we're all out here trying to do is
Yeah.
just to
Yes.
help each other and,
Yeah.
and other
What
people
we're here
to
for.
continue to do it. That's right.
Here to
Just
grow,
enough.
evolve, and help each other grow and evolve. So
Absolutely.
level up, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Giddy up.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Sleuthie Kitty, welcome to the family, dear. It's wonderful to have you in the sauce with the rest of us. And thank you for that very much.
Yes.
All right. All right, guys. If we have any audio issues with this, let me know right away. That way I can make sure to fix whatever problems we have. So here we go.
Okay.
Charges, including third-degree rape, sodomy, tampering, and perjury. Former Lecher
Oh, yeah.
County Sheriff's Deputy Ben Fields was indicted on several charges, including third-degree rape, sodomy, tampering, and perjury. Fields faced Pike County Circuit Judge Eddie Coleman via Zoom, with victim Sabrina Atkins in attendance.
I recognize it. Ms. Atkins is a victim in this case, but I'm also believing that the criminal justice system is a victim in this case when people behave this way.
Coleman sentenced Fields to 7 years in prison. Victim Sabrina Atkins expressed a lot of emotion.
I hope just come when you see the impact this has had on me and my family. To how much this is taking time for me and my son. Here's one thing you gave me back, was knowing I was a strong, independent woman.
Fields will also be listed as a registered sex offender as a result of his actions.
You're going to do outpatient sex offender treatment, and you're not to have contact with anyone with the named victim in this case.
Former Lecher County Sheriff's Deputy Ben Fields was
6 months, guys. This man did 6 fucking months out of
I
7
told
years.
you 6 months.
That makes me sick. It makes me sick.
Yep.
And I'm sure that he's back to doing something of some form illegal in his
It
life.
happened so fast that, like, I don't think that, like, the community even, like, his sentence, his time and everything was already done and over so quickly. They tried to just wrap it up so fast so that everybody just keep on and keep moving on
Forget
and
about
not
it.
look into it any deeper. Go ahead and forget. Yeah, let him be
Not
our
us.
little scapegoat. But this video, like, it was what the judge was saying to him that got me. That's what it was for me in this one. But
No.
and this
Now that-
wasn't made very public. Like, I've never seen this before. And
No,
I've
I
done
had
a lot
never
of
either.
digging on these cases. So
Right. Yeah.
Like,
Just
that
6
might
months.
make it a little more real. Jody, we need to go share that over on Facebook and everywhere. It might make it a little more real for our people here, you know, to like see it, the video of the inside the courtroom of how the judge was even speaking to him about it.
Right.
You know, like
And
that
that's
was a search I did trying to find Sabrina's witness impact statement.
that's
I'd love to hear that.
She
I
yeah.
can't find it, Dago. I can't get anything.
She might
from
have a
this
copy
file.
of it. Did you ask her?
Yeah, but
That'd
she's
be
a bit
interesting
overwhelmed
to
at the
see.
minute.
I'd love to see
Yeah,
that.
I'd say
And
she is a little overwhelmed right now.
Yeah.
there's Mr. Piece of Shit himself right there.
Yep.
He looks like a real winner, doesn't he, folks?
Yeah. You should see his sex offender photo.
And again, he'll probably still get away with
And you know what?
illegal
Have a
things.
look. Have a
And you
look
know,
at it.
nobody was even charged with the fact that he trafficked her to his uncle,
No.
Bill, the fire chief,
He
Bill
trafficked
Meade.
Jennifer
Nobody
Fields.
even fucking clocked that.
Yeah.
Oh my! So the fire chief's involved too?
Whenever you
Everyone's
get into the
involved.
depositions and stuff, it's all in there.
So when
He was
Jennifer
trafficking her to others.
when she was released from prison, he'd already teed up with his uncle that she was going over there to do him.
Oh my God!
Mm-hmm.
This is why we have to make sure that the
Who,
world
by
hears
the
us
way,
talk about this.
was just convicted of messing with a child and was not even charged with purchasing a child. A 12, I think she was 12 when he purchased her from her parents, and she was like 14 whenever she finally got away, possibly. But wasn't even charged with that. They just charged him with like some inappropriate behavior with a child, like there at the firehouse, I reckon.
You just said that he purchased her from her parents.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes, sir.
Brandy's
my
grandmother sold her. Brandy's grandmother sold her at 12 to her future husband.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep.
In the absolute hell.
Lexi, who she was trafficked from a very young age too. Her first time was 7 whenever her mom sent her to see her first
Wow.
man.
Yep.
Yeah.
These are our children, you guys. These are our children.
These are children. They're not child prostitutes.
It's the
They're not
parents
here for
that
you to
work.
fuck them and have pleasures over.
Yes. It
They're
is
children.
the-
They're here to be protected and loved.
It
And
is
our
this
future-
generation's parents. They've watched their parents go through this. They've been through it. They've watched their daughters go through it, and now they're watching their fucking grandchildren.
Yeah, and that's why Taya is she's breaking the circle, okay, breaking the cycle, shutting it down by doing what she's doing, so that her grandkids and their grandkids and it doesn't have to keep going through this.
Yeah, so we don't have to teach our grandkids to.
It has to stop.
Yeah.
Make sure
It
you
has
do
to
what
stop.
Mr. Policeman says. Make sure you do what the judge says. Make sure you take the drugs when they offer them to you. Otherwise, you're having
No.
a horrible life. That's basically what you're trying to teach them now. Not you don't have to do that anymore. So yeah,
No.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus.
It's
Moonville. This is Miss Jody. She's her channel name is Defense Rest, and she is our Aussie friend on the panel today.
And I
Moonville. She's amazing.
Oh yeah, yes, we love Miss Jody. Let's see. One and only Mert says, "I'm convinced we're in the last day." There's something going on. I agree with that one, Mert. I do. Um, this is just it. You guys,
is
if
it
we
bloody
weren't,
mind yet?
if we listen, I'm gonna tell you something. Like I said, you guys know I'm a retired first responder. Blah blah blah, so on
Yeah.
and so forth. I've seen some bad stuff. Okay.
Yep.
I've seen some horrible stuff. I've heard some horrible stuff.
Yep.
Never in my life could I have, let alone ever imagined in reality that these things happen or believed it until you
Yep.
know that it's real, okay?
Yep.
The thing is people don't wanna believe that this stuff it
No.
happened, it's real, and they stay away from, they hide from it, they ignore it, they run from it. We cannot do that because again, these are our children, folks. They are our future and their future, okay? It's enough. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Enough.
Fucking oath it is.
I just saw a comment. Somebody had said something about Thomas Clay.
Oh.
Let me
Did you
look.
see that?
Thomas
I'm
Clay.
I'm looking, hold on, let me find it. One thing you guys need to understand too is Miss Jody is on the other side of the damn world. She's on the other side of the planet in another
Yep.
country.
Yeah, she is
there.
in a whole other hemisphere. I'm convinced she's on the other side of the ice wall at this point.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, if that's why we can't get our times and dates and stuff on
Yeah.
peg. It's not her fault, y'all. It's not my fault. It's just the distance is vast.
I'm
Yes.
not very good at the
Yeah.
conversion thing.
It's okay. We'll figure it out. We'll get
Right
there
there.
one of these days.
Right there. Sausage Biscuits, who lives in, I think, Louisville, says, was
Mhm.
Jody able to contact the lawyer in Louisville, Thomas Clay? I think we talked about that over at Lee's one night.
Yes. So Thomas Clay, he's actually quite elderly. He's very old, but he is a very well renowned
Yes.
attorney and takes
Very much.
on law enforcement. So yes, he's one of I think 5 attorneys that I'm looking into for resources.
Didn't he just take down a big? Didn't he take
Yeah.
down somebody big?
you
He took
Google
down a
him-
whole courthouse, didn't he, or something?
If you Google him, there's a couple of articles on some of the cases he's done. But I'm putting together like a resource kit of all different things, including who they can go to for good representation, because you can't trust anyone.
That's what
within-
we've been worried about for so long,
Yeah.
Jody. We talked about
Yeah.
it with Devil's Advocates the one night. Like,
Yeah.
we need to look into finding these women and the people, like somebody that they can trust. Where can they
Yeah.
go? Because they can go to another county and try to do something until that county picks up the phone and says, "Hey, such and such is over here causing shit. You might want to come get
Yeah.
her, or we'll bring her back to you." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't trust any of that. They don't trust any of that, and they have no reason to trust it. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And that's why we want to help with that aspect, is to try to find something to give them to feel some kind of security with. Okay.
Security.
You
Yeah.
heard.
Truly. I mean, nobody should ever have to live like this. Nobody should
No.
ever have to wake up in the morning worried about, which I'm sure. How many times have you seen county police or the sheriff's deputies drive around your area, Kaya,
God.
and threat?
It's big, man. Yeah, that's a big thing.
Like, we're here, we see you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what they do.
It's all documented. We got cameras everywhere, so
Good.
it captures everything.
Good.
But
They go 24 hours a day.
yeah, it's a 24-hour day thing. And it's not like, okay, it doesn't even come across the scanners or dispatch.
No.
See?
So they're not even announcing their presence.
They're not on record.
It's
Right.
They're not on record. Yeah. And they're driving by creeping.
Social media,
Yeah.
everything is
Yeah,
tracked.
and then you
Oh
see
yeah, and my social media and stuff, they stalk the hell out of me, every last one
Yeah.
of them. Documented every time. Take me a screenshot every time one of them pops up. Like, but
and it's interesting. These things happen, and then guess what? Somebody comes up dead. Oh, gee, it was an accidental
Yep.
overdose, or they killed themselves. You know what I mean? This is what the
Yep.
answer is every time.
yeah, but you got to think with these accidental overdoses, right? Anybody that has been like a lifelong drug user,
Yeah.
Like, you're not trying to kill yourself. You know, you're just
Exactly.
trying to fucking escape the pain a little bit and find a
Yeah.
little numbness, have a little fun, expand your consciousness, whatever your reason is. There's a million of them. The thing is that they are lacing the drugs with straight up or like straight up poisons.
Yes.
It's poison.
They're called
These are
xylazine.
weapons of mass destruction
Yeah.
that they're
That's what
putting in these drugs. So you cannot even blame it on that. Like, they're not trying to
No.
go out and fucking shoot up an ounce of fucking fentanyl and xylazine and nitazines.
They're not.
No, they're not.
responsible to
Promise you
Narcan.
they're not. Yeah, they're
Well,
just
again,
trying to get some relief from this fucking reality that we live in.
This
And
Leave
is
it's
them the
not
the
fuck
even that.
alone, man. Yeah, quit
Half-
poisoning them.
And that's the thing is the other side of it too, guys. It's not even that. They're gonna use that as an excuse. Same with like they did
Yeah.
with Jennifer Hill. She was clean, folks. She was clean. She was grocery
Absolutely.
shopping for her household, taking groceries in the house and dropped dead. It wasn't an overdose. It was
Yeah.
done. It was murder. Okay.
And you know what?
Well, you know,
We were told that there was a 911 call that came out, and in Ben's deposition, he stated that when he turned up, he and Mickey attended that call.
Yeah.
with an EMT.
He said that when he arrived on the scene, EMS was in attendance, and it was Lee that actually discovered there was not one 911 call made. No, Rich, nothing.
So they just showed up. Nobody called 911 to report that she had overdosed.
No.
Luckily,
They
Ben
just
and
happened to show up
Ben and
conveniently.
Mickey and the EMT just happened to show up and discover her overdosing.
Yeah.
Come on, y'all.
Bullshit.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Bullshit.
So let me ask this side of this too, because I know there's people that have this question as well. And then before we get out of here, because I don't want to keep you guys too long, I'll give you guys in the chat a few questions if you want to ask Miss Taya before she takes off, if she doesn't mind. But my question is to this part of it. What are your thoughts about Mickey, Taya, and his involvement and what he knew and doesn't know? How do you look at him at this point now? If you don't
I
mind.
still
answering
see
that.
Mickey as my hero. I
Right.
really do. Like, even if Kevin ain't dead and the blood, like, because there's no fucking blood, I don't know what the hell's going on, but he's still my hero because nobody's ever stood up to these motherfuckers. Nobody's ever
Right.
said this is enough. It's enough, you know?
Exactly.
And I know that Mickey has a good heart. I know that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
I-
like, he's a good feller. He's done some dirty shit. He's been involved in some things that are undesirable, I'm sure. But who hasn't? You know?
Of
So,
course. And he
but
was
he was never inappropriate with us. He was not somebody that sexually assaulted us. He did not take advantage of us in that way. So that goes a
Right.
long way in my book.
Yeah.
Sure.
So the
Sure.
You know what I mean? So, like, yeah, I'm sure that there's issues and things, and there's probably some things that I would love for him to like come forward about one day and just tell us all the truth, like what really
Absolutely.
happened in this
Yeah.
case, this case, this case, and this case. And I hope to see that someday.
I think
But-
you've got the
Absolutely.
sexual predators, and then you've got the financial gainers.
Then you got the financial gains, and then you got the guys that are caught up in the system, the few good guys
There you go.
that are stuck like Chuck. They're just
Yeah,
hanging out like a
yeah.
hair in a biscuit because what the fuck are they going to do?
The people that get
Like,
born
Mickey,
into it.
what the fuck was he supposed
Yeah,
to do? He went
yeah.
to the KSP and asked for help. He went to the Attorney General and asked for help. He asked for the human trafficking unit and everybody. He asked for help,
And they did nothing.
and they did not provide it. So at that point, you got to be like, okay, you know, like, come on.
Hey, Tyre, he spent
Yeah.
10 years. He spent 10 years as a bailiff with Judge Mullins.
Seeing it. Yeah.
Then became the
Witnessing
elected sheriff. So he absolutely 200% knew exactly what was going on, and he
Yes.
chose to stay there. Okay,
And he chose to
had-
stay silent. Yeah. Now,
had a
yeah, I
choice.
got beef about it. I do. I got some issues
he
with
had a
it, but I
choice.
also understand the position that he was in
Jennifer didn't
and the
have a choice.
position of everybody else that worked there.
You didn't have a choice. Sabrina didn't have a choice. Jennifer didn't have a choice. Lexi didn't have a fucking choice. None
Right.
of them had a choice. He did.
Yeah. I still can't blame Mickey. I can't blame Mickey for what happened to me because he was not part
Glad
of
that
it.
he exposed what he
And
did.
and there was like a few little things over the years that seemed like totally insignificant. I didn't even like clock it, didn't even notice it at the time. That now looking back have weight. And one of those things is Mickey taking us up to court from jail.
Yep.
We would try to put on mascara, like
Right.
jailhouse makeup, put some rouge on our cheeks, darken our lips up, wear the
Yeah.
white t-shirt, the tighter shirt, something that, that's going to make you look good for the judge so that he'll
Of course.
fucking smile on you instead of frown on you.
Sure.
We were getting that. When Mickey was the one to take us up, he said, no, go in there and wash your face. Get her a different shirt. You ain't going up there like that.
Right.
You ain't going up there and advertising yourself like that. And that, like, back then, I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
He
Like,
respected you.
you're
That's
fucking
why.
me up. Yeah, but it was because he respected us and he knew what they were doing. And he was
Bingo.
he had no power to protect us up here, but he could protect us down here and be like,
Oh,
listen, don't do this.
and there it is
Don't
right
put
there.
yourself in that position. And
Mickey,
that sits in my heart
and
heavily.
that makes sense. And like I said before when I covered this, guys, Mickey, that says Mickey has a
He's a
soul.
girl dad that
He's got a
actually loves
soul.
his daughter. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And he
Yeah.
treated other women with the same respect
Yes.
and dignity.
Absolutely. Welcome, altruistic.
So,
Yeah. 100%.
yeah.
100%. And that's
Like,
the thing.
even though
A
he
lot
was
of
silent about it for so long, I can forgive him for that because I know the pressure and the danger. If he would have spoke up about this back then when it was happening, he wouldn't have
yeah.
made it this far.
And that's what I was gonna
He
say.
would have
Like I
been
said
killed,
earlier,
just
he
like
was born.
everybody else.
He was born
Yeah.
into his position, into this. He had no choice. Either you do it or you don't. And he lived there. He had his family
Yeah.
there. Speaking of, do you know how his family's doing by any chance, by word of mouth or anything?
I don't know. I don't
No.
know. I
Okay.
kind of
I was just curious.
follow her a little bit on social media and just,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know Lila.
I don't talk to her or anything. It angered me greatly whenever Hillbilly Crime was doing her whole attack thing against her and stuff.
Oh
So
my God,
I
what a
took
mess
up for
that is.
her greatly over that and got some backlash. They said that I was just teaming up with Mickey's family. I was like, I don't even know them. I've not seen her since she was a little
Right.
girl. But this
Right.
is wrong. Wrong is wrong
Yeah.
is right. Right is right. Period. You don't come for
I
a
was
child like that.
when I.
So, and that's part of the problem, part of the grooming.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Absolutely.
it is.
I agree with that. And I like I said, when this first started, I was following that a little bit, and then I started seeing the direction she was going. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but it's not the direction I wanted to go. So I just kind of walked away from that over there. It's not the way to do this at all.
Oh, ran away.
Well, yeah. Well, truly, yeah, it's a bit of a mess. But this has been amazing. I'm again very, very grateful that you joined us today, Miss Taya. And you're always welcome here. Please know that always. Now that you know where we're at. And
I
Jody,
would
thank
love
you.
for you to join us sometime and we can talk about anything you want to talk about. Just come on and let's get
Absolutely.
into it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Jody has my oh my God. Let me try this one more
And
time.
Jody, have you given him access to our files and stuff?
No, but I can certainly do that.
I think that they go.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
I
can add
appreciate that.
him to our drive
I've got
files.
it.
We've got quite a lot compiled thanks to Jody. I could not have done that myself by any fucking means. There's no way I could have done all that work.
She's done
So I'm
amazing.
so
Yeah.
grateful. Yeah.
Yeah. And Jody
Yeah.
has
And
my
stuff is still
contact.
falling in. So
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to continue to.
Is it
Jody
in?
has
Got it.
my contact information. She's welcome to give to you.
Got it.
I'm not too awful far from you, by the way. I live right here in Ohio.
oh,
So
okay.
we're just a state apart. You know what I mean? Anything I
Yeah.
can do to help you, please feel free. Ask Jody. She can give it to you. You can reach out to me. Where this whole community is here to support you. By all
What
means,
you're
this
doing
is
is amazing. So
yeah.
we thank you
We're
gratefully. And I think I speak
absolutely
for all survivors and anybody that's in these situations
yes,
that it's these true crimers and the YouTubers that are really making the difference for us and making sure that
100%.
we are seen and heard and that people understand and are educated about what's
We
happening here.
are we are
So we're
definitely
grateful, like the
yeah.
depth of the gratitude for
Thank
all of
you.
you. Yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you so much. I know that we're trying. I know that Devil's Advocates Lee is breaking his neck trying to make it the best he can out of it. What we can do. There's other creators that would definitely support this 100% if they figured out once they see what's going on. That's okay, Jody. But yeah, this channel, this community, which is pretty large, as well as probably Bronx Tales True Crime as well. We all will support you. I promise you that because we are all absolutely just sickened by everything that has happened and everything that you've had to go through. But you can consider yourself part of our community and our family at this point, ma'am. So I hope you know that always.
Thank you so much.
You are truly welcome. And I'm looking forward to more interactions. And of course, I would absolutely join you over there anytime. Let me know when you're going to be doing it. I'll be looking for it myself, and we will definitely
Okay.
join you over there.
We'll get you that link for the drive file so you can come through it, and you might notice some things that we haven't, like, so
Absolutely.
the more
Yeah.
eyes we can get on it, I think the better.
Yes.
So
Absolutely. And thank you so
those
much
who
again.
have good intentions at least. So we're grateful.
100%.
Thank you so
1
much. Yeah.
million. Yes. And thank you again so much for taking time out of your day to join us.
Yes. Oh,
We all appreciate you very much. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, Taya. Thank you so much.
yes, you too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, hon. Bye-bye. Amazing, amazing, amazing. What a courageous and absolutely amazing woman, guys. Just for that. Jody, thank you so much. As always, for I didn't expect this today, but it turned out to be a great show. Ed, thank you so much for jumping up here, and I guess that probably just worked things out. So thank you for that. And we will touch base on all of that. Yeah, I know this community is grateful to have heard the story, to be able to be a part of this as we try to bring some justice to this for sure. Eddie, thank you for joining us today as well, buddy. I'm sorry we didn't get into that more, but we're going to be doing that this week, delving into some more of that stuff. I appreciate you joining me up here too, brother. Thank you to all of you in here. You guys are amazing. I've seen some of you telling some of your own personal stories. Excuse me. Thank you, Miss Jody. As are you. You know that. And I appreciate and respect the courage that anybody in here has to tell their own personal stories as well. Um, that's a lot, guys. But this is a family here and a community, and we are here to support each other in every aspect, shape, or form. So thank you for that. Thank you to my moderators for being amazing the way you always are. And thank you again to my production manager, Mikey, my videographer, Molly, and all of you mods. If you have a minute, I'd like to jump backstage with you for a minute, just to discuss a couple things. Besides that, guys, it's been an amazing show. Thank you all again for being here. Don't forget to love yourselves and love each other. And please don't change anything, guys. You know why. Because you are the beautiful people, and you always have been. We'll see you soon, folks. Nothing but love. Bye-bye.
The coffee's cold, the final stain. We laid the map out in the pouring rain. No hidden corners left to creep. The dark truth woke while the city was asleep. The evidence lines up straight and true. A perfect picture of what they chose to do. The quiet street erupts in flashing light. A reckoning delivered in the night. SWAT serves the warrant, loud and clear. The sound of justice, the only thing we hear. At the True Crime Café, we watch the suspect finally pay. The dark truth is backed and signed and sealed. The wound is closed, the name is finally healed. It's finally healed. The cafe's empty, closed for the night. We put the darkness back into the light. We'll wipe the counter, set the empty chair, and wait right here for the next secret laid bare. Until the next one. Until